Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Unconventional Connections. I am your host today, Beto. And by the way, if I sound like crap, it's because I'm sick. But I gotta tough that out for you guys because I know I missed out on a week or two, and then you guys had to do a substitute. So, with that being said, as always, I am here with Mike and Isidro, the beautiful gentlemen here.
Hey,
Hello.
what's up?
And this topic is gonna be this week's topic is gonna be a little bit of a piggyback from last week's topic where we were talking about guilty pleasures, which to me I think it's weird that you would have a guilty pleasure. Is if you're if you know like it's
Yeah.
weird. I don't understand the concept. But we talked a lot about Last of Us, and I made The Last of Us, and I made a lot of comments that some people may or may not agree with. But again, it's just an opinion. It's not necessarily a fact. A lot of I speak out of my butt sometimes, so I'll remember that. So yeah, so this week's topic is gonna be our favorite TV series. Favorite TV series. Like example, mine are Dexter, Lucifer, Supernatural, and I was thinking of keeping it at three, just for the sake of time, because I know me and Mike were having a full on heated discussion about The Last of Us and how the story changes when you change certain characters. And ironic enough, right now that I mentioned that, I was thinking about this exact topic yesterday because preparing myself for today,
Yeah.
and I wanted to point out, Mike, that
Mhm.
in The Boys, the show itself is beautiful. It's amazing by itself, right? It's great,
Mhm.
great actors, great
Mhm.
action, show, drama, everything's good. Uh, while the show was going on, I realized that apparently not everything in the show was true to its source
Oh,
because
like
Mm.
almost nothing.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of it is different in the comics.
Mhm.
But I don't know enough to say, but I from the videos that I've seen and people tell me, "Oh, hey, this is exactly what happened in the comics and this is what
Mhm.
happened in the show." I feel like regardless of the fact, regardless of which one you watch, the differences are slight enough to really change the trajectory of the storytelling, but
Mhm.
the end goal is the same: kill so and so,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
um I was telling myself, what's the difference between a bad guy winning and instead of in the book he burns down the world, but in the live action he blows it up? Like, what's the difference? He still won, he
Mhm.
still did what he did, but
Yeah.
maybe along the way the methods changed, and because the methods changed they showed a different side of the story. Then it just made me think that no story really is the same. It just
Mhm.
has, I feel like every story that we watch that is similar is more
Mhm.
what if. Like, what if this character, instead of
Yeah.
doing this, he did this? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, I I mentioned Lucifer. Um, honestly, that's just my Gooner show because oh god, Tom Ellis, dude, he's so beautiful. Like, I wish I was Tom Ellis sometimes, but
Yeah.
there can only be one
Sorry to
Tom
cut you
Ellis.
off, but just to build up on that what if idea, we can
Hmm.
go back to Gooning about Tom, whatever his name is, in a bit. Just kind of build up on that. Is a lot of also the story sometimes has to change just to fit the medium. Because what works in writing
Mhm.
sometimes does not
Hmm.
work in television. Because in writing you can
Mhm.
have a whole paragraph of that guy thinking, um
Yeah.
Hmm.
and like,
Hmm.
but a lot of that can be lost when you're on TV because you're not describing the chair anymore, the black chair in the
Yeah.
very red rooms, because a lot of that's visual now. You take out a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
that dialogue out,
definitely.
and then it's not good television to have a guy just sitting there for 5 minutes describing his environment.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of that stuff. I was actually gonna mention that too because for example, in Star Wars stuff, well, now we have the technology, but they were saying that I was reading on watching a short about how the Force Unleashed or the Force Awakened, the
Mhm.
PS2 game, great game for its time for sure.
Mhm.
Um, they were saying, the creators were saying that they had to ask George Lucas, like, hey, can this guy do this? Can this guy do that? Like, do a
Mhm. Mhm.
force
Yeah.
shockwave and stuff like that. And George Lucas was like, well, technically, yeah, but I think for the medium this is, it's okay because people don't want to just push and pull people with the force, right? They
Yeah.
want to do crazy stuff. They want to
Yeah.
do crazy stunts, right? So that's why each Jedi that you fight has like a specific ability. But that's how
Mhm.
video games work. That's how bosses work. Like, not every boss is the exact same, right? Like, each one has its own quirk that you have to learn how to deal with. kind of like in Mega Man actually. Like, well, but anyways, point being, uh, for Jedi for the Jedi the
Force
Fallen
Unleashed.
Order or
Oh,
no,
Oh,
the
the
other
most
one.
recent one?
Yeah, the most recent ones are more tame compared
Mm,
to Star Wars Force Unleashed because I played the first one, and it's very just hack and slash,
mm-hmm.
and it's mostly just learn how to use a lightsaber and the very little force powers that you get.
Mm,
It's mostly for stunning enemies. It's not like you could throw them into a helicopter and like it's not
yeah.
as crazy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So a lot of the stuff gets not mistranslated, but it gets doesn't get put in. Um, because of that. Specifically, what Isidro said, because even Tolkien, like Tolkien, the
yeah,
one that
I
did
think
Lord of the Rings, like he would spend pages describing something, but
mm,
in the describing part of that thing, like when there's I guess there's like 2-3 pages of describing a tree or something like that.
mm,
I figured that it was because there was more to that tree than just its roots, its leaves, its trunk. Like it meant something, and that's why he spent so much time to describe it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And in the movies, they
mm.
just glanced over it because like, okay, here's a tree, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of
Here's the tree.
It's
The
a
tree
tree.
yeah, like
knows.
oh, here's the tree. You know, it's just a tree. But again, Lord of the Ring has so much lore that it's almost impossible to do a live action, a 12 episode live action, or even a movie and put all that lore
Mm,
in because Legolas has his own backstory. Aragorn has his own backstory. So like you can't just shove everything in one. So you have to
yeah.
cut and put pieces together that make sense for what you're doing. You know
You
what I
have
mean?
to bullet point their story, just the
Yeah,
main highlights. Because instead of like
yeah,
years of story, you're only given like 3 or 5 bullet points. Like, oh, he's an elf. He's very good at archery. He lost his father when he
Yeah.
was young. Okay, moving on. Legolas.
uh-huh.
He was the next in line. He lost his father when he was young. He was thrown out. I actually don't know their backstories. I'm just saying random
No,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Stuff
and
like that.
yeah, because like and yeah, so Dexter, I only know Dexter from the show, and I watched it when I was a teenager, and I was angsty, I was emo, like I wanted to, oh I was supposed to go to jury. Okay, well I'm gonna do that once we're done with this. Este, I just saw the notice. I was like summons for jury service. I was like, excuse me, when does this have been here? Anyways, whatever. If I go to jail, if you guys don't see me next week, you'll know why.
The
Anyways,
next man's gonna be
When
missing.
they called you, say ¿qué? ¿Qué?
honestly, I don't know if I should say this, but I was just gonna say I'm racist and just not show up. Like
Yeah, I mean
honestly.
that's
But
same thing.
anyways, no, no, like I kind of want to go because work pays me for going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, yeah? And I get cheese made for free? Oh hell yeah. Anyways, it's the
You get paid for the
like I
chisme.
exactly. So I was like, why would I not go? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of waiting, but I mean,
So
like
life is all about waiting, right?
And I
yeah,
think
hell
you
yeah,
get paid for being like there, if I remember
yeah,
correctly.
yeah,
I
you
mean, it's
do.
not a lot, but like if you get paid both like for like at your work, and then also you
hmm
get paid for doing the jury duty, might as well.
As far as I know, I do get paid for jury duty. But anyways, as far as that is concerned, that's a different topic for another day.
Mm.
But no, like I really did grow up watching TV series. I didn't grow up watching a lot of cartoons because I just wasn't able to. We didn't have cable or any of that good stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I would watch would be on discs, like DVDs. I know that I watched Dexter on DVD for sure, and there was just I liked Dexter as a whole because it was well written, characters made sense, they had their own overarching stories, and sure, some of them ended in death, but I mean, go figure. Um, Lucifer, I liked it because it has to do with an internal struggle. There's a very popular line in that show where Lucifer, the main character, is talking to the therapist, and the therapist has no idea that he's actually the devil, and
Mhm.
he's just pouring his heart out to her, and he says, even after all of this, even after the great things that I've done, why do I hate myself so much? But the delivery of it was what really captivated me, what really made me say, oh shit, this is an amazing show, I love it, 10 out of 10. I would totally
Mhm.
be Tom Ellis's bitch, like I really would. But este I really did enjoy the whole overarching idea of, hey, just because people say I'm this doesn't mean I have to be that. You know what I mean? Like I can make my own choices. I can
Mhm.
be who I want to be. And then it also falls in line with the whole, well, you were made for this and you're gonna do this. And it's like I don't want to, so I'm not going to. It's not my calling or it's not my responsibility, like stuff like that. Dexter,
Mhm.
Lucifer, Supernatural. Everybody likes Supernatural because it's Dean and Sam Winchester. But again, I've shared the show so many times because it's like, oh Sam, how could you lie to me? Oh Dean, how did you lie to me? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're brothers. Let's make out now, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yep, Supernatural
The
There
amount,
one-on-one.
was there was a
yeah,
meme that I saw where it was just like it's like last time on Supernatural, Dean, Sam. This time on
Dean,
Supernatural, Dean, Sam.
Sam. Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen those. I've also seen where people grab photos of them and like they're like surprised, like they're like, oh, and it's like one of them holding fan fiction of them, and it's just like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god, like
Oh my
people
god.
have nothing else to do in
I
their
think
lives
that's
but
where
to
I
be.
first heard of the Wincest.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I didn't want you to bring that up specifically,
You just
but
said about
yeah,
fanfiction. You literally just brought it up.
I didn't say specific fan fiction. I just said fan
You
fiction.
said
That's all I had
fanfiction
to say.
about them.
Uh-huh. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. Point is the point is, um, just to make it clear, I've never sat down and read it because one, it's not for me, and two, some people don't know how to write, so I just don't. I just don't. You know, like I just don't care. So, anyways, it's the
I
yeah.
haven't read it
So
because I don't read. Period.
yeah, well, I mean, you don't get entertained as much. So um, but no, it's the with that being said, Supernatural is one of those.
Oh, actually, hold on. I should probably also point out that I also, in fact, haven't read it because if I just realized, like, if I'm not saying anything, people are gonna assume that I did.
That's why I was looking at you like, like Mike.
I was like, all right, he's moving on to the next. Wait a minute, hold on,
Wait a
wait,
minute. I can
guys,
Uh-huh,
support Wincest right
before
now.
we move on.
for real. And it's like shows like Supernatural are fun because like they're so repetitive and
Yeah,
they're comforting even because like you know what's gonna happen until you
yeah.
don't when it's actually they're getting out of that cookie cutter story, then it's like you're like, oh shit, you know, this is cool.
Mm,
Um, but
Yeah. And I guess
Supernatural is
the
a
problem with
perfect.
Supernatural is it's an at the end of the day it's episodic. You're supposed to be able to pick it up and you don't really need to
mm,
know the overarching story. There is kind of some episodes where you kind of do, like it kind of does build up
Mhm,
on itself. But at the end of the day, a lot of it's episodic. They go defeat the monster of the week, clock out.
mm,
So
right, yeah. I
yeah,
the thing with me was that you know how Kanye West suffered from success or whatever. Well, Supernatural did the same because they should have stopped at a specific timeline or a specific point, and the fans
yeah.
are like, "No, we want more." And Sam and Dean, Jensen and Jared, they were like, "We want more money," so they made more. And I'm
and
assuming
the
that's what
Mm,
happened.
and the
I'm not,
studio, they're
and
like,
the
we
well,
oh
want
yeah,
yeah,
more,
obviously.
we want
yeah,
more, and
well,
this is
obviously, but
successful.
well, for sure. But and, like, I'm not saying Supernatural's bad. Like, no, the Supernatural by no means is bad. It's just for me, it dragged down for
Oh
so
yeah,
long,
oh yeah.
and I'm just like at the end of each season or in the beginning of each season, I was like, I guarantee you this is what's gonna happen, and you were probably 85% right. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna find some demon and one of them's gonna have sex with the demon. Oh, look at that, you know,
But yeah, I mean,
or
also like
or an angel.
Supernatural lasted 15 seasons. It was supposed to end at
That's
season
15.
Oh yeah.
5.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
lasted
See what I
10
mean?
years longer than the original plan.
Exactly. But good for them though. They made their money. They gained popularity and all that good stuff, which I'm grateful for. I got to see
Hmm.
more Jensen and Jared. I got to see more of Misha Collins because he's actually pretty good too. I got to see a lot of new characters come in and going and all this. Like when Bobby passed away, I was like, damn.
Mm, mm.
It's like this hurts. So it's an emotional show. It's a good show. It's not a bad show.
Yeah.
So Dexter, Supernatural, Lucifer, The Boys. I can't even speak about The Boys because The Boys is just so great.
Oh yeah.
It's so yeah, it's so good.
I
It
am
has it.
glad they toned it down from the comics. I'm going to say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I am
I believe you.
glad.
Um, from what I know about the comics is that the guy who made the boys, his name's Garth Ennis, and he's known for making stuff like edgy just to be edgy, or like
Yeah,
gory, or like just to be gory. Um, there's another series that he made called Crossed, and that one, it's basically, it works kind of like a zombie story, but it's like the people that are infected, all of their moral ambitions and stuff like go out the window. So like they're killing, doing some inappropriate things, and trying to keep this, as PG as I can. I cannot understate like how messed up this comic book series is. And when you know that it's like the guy who made the original Boys comics, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. And so
Then
like,
mhm.
oh yeah. Oh,
No,
I
no,
was
go
saying
ahead.
that
Go ahead.
like when they adapted it for the show and everything, it became one of the like few instances where like the adaptation was far better than the original source material.
For the boys, right? Or for
Yeah, for the
Crossed?
boys.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
for the boys. There is a cross movie. I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do it, but it's in the works.
yeah.
It's I don't know if you guys have ever heard or like seen. There is a movie that came out called The Sadness, and that one was heavily inspired by Cross. It's basically like a Cross movie, but not called Crossed.
Mm.
But they got the
It's a fan
director who
fiction.
did. Yeah, yes, it's a fan fiction. They got the director who did that movie to work with Garth Ennis on this adaptation. So
Okay, okay. So
I
an
don't know.
homage almost. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what that sounds like an homage
Hmm.
to the guy. Yeah. Well, yeah. Um, I was gonna say something. I completely wiped my slate clean right now, and I didn't even think about keeping certain things. It's cause.
Uh,
Oh,
was
I
it
see.
okay, okay. I was just
Yeah,
trying to remind you.
it's cause certain things shouldn't be adapted. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I have a strong stance on that when it comes to certain things because I haven't watched it yet, but I heard a lot of negative stuff about Lilo and Stitch. And yeah,
Oh, I
We were
yeah,
talking about this
yeah.
before you
I
got
was
on the call
before you joined, man. Do
because
you?
we were just sitting here struggling to talk to each other because we're like, I have so much stuff to talk about, but I want to save it for the
Yeah.
podcast. And we're just sitting
I
here, we're staring at
figured.
each other. We're like, so how's it
So like,
going?
so how's it
Anything
going?
new? No. Cool.
Look,
Same.
look. So
Oh.
I'm gonna be very blunt with you before we continue because Mike, I would love to hear you speak because you're the
Mm.
expert here. Um, my favorite. Let's get through it, right? My favorite top five, in no particular order: Dexter, Supernatural, The Boys, Lucifer, and the fifth. Oh, fuck, what was the fifth one? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I saw The Boys, I saw Dexter, I saw Lucifer, I saw Supernatural. Okay, for right now I only have four. I'll think about the fifth one right now because I know I've seen more than five scenes series
You've seen more
shows, and
than
I
five
know that.
shows. That's good. That's good. That's progress.
Well minimum is five, but I stopped at four because I literally only can count in my hand Dexter, Supernatural, Lucifer, The Boys. Oh my goodness, really? Really? I can't think of anything right now. What else have I seen?
I think for me, it would probably be in no order, just the first five that come to my mind: The Flash, Arrow,
Mm.
um, Taskmaster, Supernatural,
Mm.
and The Big Bang Theory.
Thank you for reminding me. Daredevil.
Mm.
Daredevil.
Oh, Daredevil.
Daredevil was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daredevil's good.
Daredevil. Ooh, okay, to be fair though, Daredevil, The Punisher, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones,
Like the Netflix
those
shows.
Iron
Yeah.
Iron Iron Fist, for me,
Mm.
those were awesome. I thought they were
Oh
cool.
yeah.
I thought they were super cool. The Punisher,
Oh
I
yeah.
thought they were super cool. I don't know what the hell happened because I heard that they're not making shows like that anymore. So I was just like,
Well,
Yeah, it
they
was
lost
if I remember correctly,
Netflix lost
yeah.
the rights basically, or
Yeah,
they didn't
so
want to give Netflix the rights anymore, so they like had to cut
yeah,
them off for 10 years to them to be able to make them again.
yeah. So like from what I remember, yeah, Netflix bought the rights to these certain characters, which I believe ultimately was like the Defenders, which is
hmm
Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and then also Punisher, to make like their own shows on Netflix and
hmm
whatnot. And they only had those rights for a certain amount of years, and then the rights would go back um to Marvel. But I think during the time Disney bought Marvel, when the Netflix shows were coming out, I think so. I don't remember if it was
okay,
before or after, um, but that's why Netflix never continued the Netflix like their shows like Daredevil and stuff because they legally couldn't, and so Disney had the rights to them, and I don't know why it took them a while. Maybe it was because they were trying to determine whether or not like those shows are canon. Because I know in the
Hmm.
Netflix show they kind of hint that they're like part of the MCU, but not.
I think
Like
they
they
were.
talk about
It
certain
was more
events.
like, because Disney had already bought, because at this stage the second Avengers had already come out when this ones came out.
Oh, okay.
Because
Oh,
they do allude a lot to the Chitauri
Oh, yeah,
attack.
yeah,
So then
yeah.
it was like, with the way Marvel does their rights, it's like you can have them for this certain amount of, you can have the rights to this character, but if you don't use them in this certain amount of time, like 7 years or something like that, it goes back to
Yeah.
Marvel. We
Mm,
we get the rights back. So then that's why they stopped making all those shows,
mm,
because
yeah.
they wanted the rights in order to get them into the movies, into their own, back into the MCU, which is why Daredevil was able to come out in the third Spider-Man movie, because that's when the rights are
Mm,
reverted back to them.
yeah.
oh,
And that's
okay,
also why they
okay.
made the Born Again, the Disney Plus show recently.
Oh, okay.
But
That
and
makes
that's why
that
it's
makes
also
more
with the
sense.
same actors because it's technically a continuation of the Netflix shows because the Netflix shows were canon in the MCU. And so that's also why like they're kind of continuing the story, but I think they're kind of doing it. I haven't seen all the whole season yet, but I think
Hmm.
they're kind of like continuing the story, but like kind of also doing their own thing with it. So and
Okay.
then it's not like a direct thing from the Netflix show because maybe it's like rights or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it's very similar. It's obvious, like you said, it's obviously a continuation, but there are little things that are a little different.
Yeah.
The little things that stick out, like the suit is different. Of
Hmm.
course, because you gotta sell toys, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
like the characters, like the main central core of the characters are different. They still
Hmm.
talk about them like the old cast, but they're different at the center of the story.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So those are yours, Isidro. What about yours, Mike?
Um, I
Fuck,
know
we're
The
gonna be
Boys
here.
is up there.
I was gonna tell you, fuck. I think we're gonna be here for a while because Mike has like so much more on top of us.
Well, like okay, because like I watch a lot more movies than I do TV
Oh,
shows.
that's true. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I know like one show that like I still watch even today is The Walking Dead. That one mostly because I was a big fan of the comics before they started adapting the show. But it also like over time it kind of became like more of like just a tradition with me and my parents, mostly me and my
Mm,
dad. And so that's why it kind of made more of a connection. I made more of a connection with the show cuz like even like to this day like we me and my dad we watch the spin-off shows just cuz we've always watched like the rest of The Walking Dead.
it's like a
Um
bonding thing for you guys. Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even know
It's
those
nice.
Yeah.
spin-off shows.
Hmm?
I didn't even know
I
there
didn't
was
either.
spin-off shows.
Yeah, that's a whole thing because of like I think it's because of rights and everything too. Cuz like the main creator Robert Kirkman, even though he's still like an executive producer on the main show that is now ended, but the spin-off shows as well, he technically is trying to fight for full rights to the IP of Walking Dead cuz he wants it now with the cuz he also wrote Invincible. So he wants the rights back to do like an animated like accurate adaptation of the story because the show itself did a lot of deviations from the story. Granted, they kind of did their own thing and it worked for the show, but
Mm,
there's a lot more like darker things that happen in the comics that don't happen in the show, or like there's some like parts where like some characters did like a character in the comics is now like a different character in the show, or like a character just does something in the show that was like for another character in the comics. And so
right.
there was a
Right.
lot of like switching around and stuff like that. So he wants the rights, so and then he can make like an animated, direct adaptation of the comic book because the comic series is also finished as well. So he wants to do like from start to finish. So I mean, we'll see how that goes. But
Okay.
also, I love zombies. The zombies are like my favorite subgenre
I
of
would be
horror.
surprised if you didn't have a single zombie or two
Oh yeah,
zombies things in your
I mean,
list.
I could probably name like 5 zombie
Yeah,
shows.
I figured.
um, But yeah, Supernatural's up there. Um, I think one of my all-time like favorite shows to watch, even though it's like it's goofy as hell sometimes, like to watch back on it because it's very '90s, is Goosebumps, like the original
Mm.
Your
Goosebumps
guilty
show.
pleasure.
Yeah, because I don't know, I just love the campiness of it and stuff. Because it also coincides with like another show that I loved watching called Tales from the Crypt, and
Cuentos de la cripta. I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to watch that too.
um so yeah, it's kind of like watching Goosebumps made me like transition into watching like Tales from the Crypt. and everything like that. So that's another one. Um, trying to think also. I really liked the Fallout show that came out recently.
Mm.
Oh, actually, that one was
That
really good
one was
too.
that one was really good. It was a lot of fun,
Do you guys play
and
the games?
Yeah,
I've only played Fallout 4, and I do
Mm.
plan on playing the other ones. I just got to get around to it because I know that I know that like diehard Fallout fans were saying that Fallout 4 was very like compared to like all the other ones. Um, but well, actually no, I also played Fallout 76, which is like the one where
The
they try to make like
RPG.
multiplayer.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
role
it was
playing.
not very good. I don't
uh,
know if maybe there's because I heard
MMORPG,
that there's like
whatever.
yeah, I heard that there's been multiple updates and like multiple like different things that they changed. So maybe it's like a whole new game. But I remember when me and my friend played it, we went to GameStop, bought a physical copy day one, and we're like, dude, hell yeah, we're gonna be playing Fallout, but together multiplayer. And we played it for about like maybe 2 hours, and we never played it again.
I remember a roommate Marco used to play it a lot. 76.
Yeah, yeah,
I
He used to
remember
play
him
it a
too.
lot.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I haven't played any Fallout game. They're too
Pretty fun.
time consuming. I don't
Yeah,
have the time or the desire to invest that time into a game.
I
I
will
don't
say,
blame
yeah,
you.
the Fallout games are very lengthy because like Bethesda, I think always makes like because they make the Skyrim games and stuff like that. So a lot of
Let
their
me
games are always like,
let me tell you something, okay? Let me fucking tell you something about Bethesda. Bethesda made so much good money on Fallout and Skyrim that they could have gotten their fucking shit together and made better games. But
oh yeah,
thanks to Todd Howard or what his name is, the yeah, Todd
oh yeah,
Howard,
yeah,
if it
Todd
wasn't
Howard.
for that fucking man trying to get Skyrim in every single hardware that he could possibly, do you know how many times? Oh my god, I'm sick.
Skyrim
Like
has
I'm
been re-released.
hold on. Let me make a statement. Let me make a
Remastered.
statement. I'm gonna make a statement real quick. I'm sick, but just thinking about how many hours I spent on Skyrim, just thinking about how many times I bought fucking Skyrim, pisses me off to like I'm not sick anymore. I'm not sick anymore. That shit makes me boil. Like I just boiled whatever disease I have inside of me right now. I just boiled it to death. Point being, Skyrim, Skyrim and Fallout. I played Fallout and I played Skyrim. I played Skyrim more because I like the story of it and I
Yeah.
like the concept of Skyrim. Fallout to me is the world ended and I'm just here. And I'm like, well, if the world ended, why the fuck do I want to be here? Like why like that's why it pisses like zombie movies and like survival movies piss me the fuck off because it's like, oh, the world's ending. Yay! You know what I mean? And like for me, because I'm a
Yeah.
pessimistic or whatever. And I was just like when people say run for your life, baby, I don't run for nobody. So, like I'm not, and like, I'm not saying you should do that. Don't do that. Like if you want to survive, survive. But me, I was like, no, I'm good. So playing Fallout felt more like a chore than when I would play
Mm,
Skyrim because Skyrim felt more like an adventure. You know what I
mm,
mean? And
mm.
so Fallout the show itself is awesome. It's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool. I like it. I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like it was just very, hey guys, look at this. This was in the games. And that's it.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like they took out core parts of the games and they showed it to us and we were like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, all excited. And at the end, like maybe because I think season 2 is coming, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I think so. Yeah.
maybe they'll expand the story more in the next coming season. But I
Mm,
didn't. I watched it once and I was like, I won't watch this again. But okay, and I just left it
mm,
at that because I was just like, okay, cool.
Also,
There's too.
like
I think there's.
the thing with Fallout, the TV show, is that there is so many different vaults to tell a story about.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be the
yeah.
same vault over and over again because there's like what 115 different vaults that there
There's
It's
like
is.
on.
yeah, there's like over
I
a
thought I
hundred
was.
different.
Yeah, and some of the actually, if you go online and YouTube and you find like scariest vaults or whatever,
Yeah.
you'll
Oh
you
yeah.
some of them are wow. You're
Oh
just like
yeah.
there's two vaults. Right off the bat, I know there's two where it's one of them is there's only one male and nothing but females, and then the other
Hmm.
one it's all males, just one female. And the
Yeah.
outcome for both of them, you may think, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. No,
Hmm.
no, no, no. It's just oh my goodness. There's
There's
another
also
one where they
Yeah.
were testing like medicine and stuff like that. realistically speaking, the votes were just test. We
Yeah.
were just
Oh
There's
testing
yeah,
it. That's
also
all it
one
was.
where like they have to vote who they're gonna kill that year or stuff like that, and
Yeah,
like
it was like
whoever,
a sacrifice. Yeah,
yeah, who's gonna be the
yeah.
exactly.
There
sacrifice.
was one I remember where like it was literally just like they had like a bunch of people and then like a grown adult tiger just inside the vault that wants to hunt and kill them.
Yeah, yeah. So all of these are great series to watch. Highly recommend them. I
Mhm.
know there's more out there, but cause there's a lot more out there for sure. Like the Marvel ones, like Black Widow. Did Black Widow get her own series?
No,
Movie.
she got a movie. Yeah.
That she got so fucked. Like I hate
Um.
that. I rather watch a series of Black Widow and like her issues and stuff like that than freaking She-Hulk, dude. Oh my god, dude. Like oh my god. Just because Disney or Marvel produced it doesn't mean it's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I
pero
think
my point.
that's the main thing too right now that Marvel's facing is that like a lot of people are kind of not having confidence in the movies and stuff because of all the
Yeah.
stuff that Disney's trying to just pump out, like different shows and whatnot. And then
Also,
like you'll
people
have
aren't going to the movies in general anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, cause freaking everything's expensive, dude.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
if you guys remember in UV, you could just park your car and you would get a little ticket and you get 2 hours.
Mm,
Now you only get
mhm.
an hour for free and you have to pay to get in.
Oh
Like
wow.
you have to pay to get in into the little gate, right? Into little
Mhm.
things that go up and down. You have to
Yeah.
have your ticket. You get an hour for free, and anything past the hour they do like by time now. So the UV is suffering so bad because one because of poor management, and I got to meet the manager there. If she ever sees this video, fuck you. Anyways, it's um she just managed the property like really bad, like
Yeah.
terribly bad. When I used to work at that 7-Eleven, we would get complaints that the sewage system would stink, and we were like, we can't do
Mhm.
anything about it. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm gonna throw pine sol down there or what? Like,
Yeah.
or drain or what do you want me to do? So we told her about it, and we told her about it, and then she's like, oh well, I can't really do anything because of the city and this and that bullshit. She just didn't want to spend
Mhm.
the money on it. She wanted to pocket all that money,
Oh yeah.
and she was telling my boss like, oh yeah, oh yeah, like rent is gonna go up again, this and that, and my boss was like, we have a contract. I was like, we have a contract. You told us this and this. The contract states this and this. I'm not gonna pay you more. So she
Mm,
started like getting lawyers and stuff like that. So that's when my boss was like, you know what? As soon as the contract ends, we're leaving, and that's where they bought out. Supposedly, allegedly, that's what
mhm.
I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but supposedly, allegedly. Point being is, fuck that place. I hate that place. Um, movie theaters are suffering. I like going to the movies and watching a movie, but
Yeah.
I have to be in the mood for it because
Mm,
because I have to go. If I go watch a movie, right?
yeah.
I'm going to sit down and watch the movie. Not, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be on my phone or I'm gonna get up and go to the restroom. Just leave it there. I can't pause it, so I have to sit and I have to watch. To
Mm,
me, that's more like research. Like it's a little bit
mhm.
forced for me. But if I go with people, with 2 to 3 people, and it's empty, and I could just be loud and annoying because I can, because there's nobody else there, then oh yeah, it's a freaking blast.
Yeah.
That's what I did when I went to go watch the third Sonic movie. I wasn't a Sonic fan. I really wasn't a Sonic fan. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He's just freaking blue hedgehog. Hedgehog's not even fast anyways. What the fuck? Anyways, I was like, sure, Shadow likes Latinas. Me too. Like I get it. But the moment I saw Shadow bust out the blicky on the motorcycle, I lost my shit. I was like, 10 out of 10 game of the year. It's not even a game. It's just a movie. Awesome. Best movie ever. Like my
Nice.
tism triggered so hard when I was watching that movie. I was like, this is awesome. Like the quirkiness, everything was cool. But there was nobody there. There was like maybe like 5, 10 people like scattered around the movie theater, and then my
Mhm.
five friends that were right here. I was just like, guys, my tism is like up here right now. Like I'm spazzing out, and they're like, thank God there's nobody here. And I started dying. Like I was just making stupid ass jokes, and they were laughing, and it was cool. So going to the movie theater is a good experience, a fun experience
Yeah.
when you're able to do it. But I cannot stand. I'm sorry, Isidro, you're gonna have to heavily edit, but I cannot stand bitch ass people that bring little kids to movie theaters. Oh my fucking god, dude, I can't fucking just wait for the DVD to come out and buy it for your bitch ass kid. Oh my god, dude. One time, I don't remember what bitch ass movie I went to go see, and like you know what? Like I'm sorry, like I don't. I hope our audience doesn't sue me for this, but like I cannot stand adult children that go to Disney. Like
Oh, Disney adults.
yeah, I can't. I can't. I'm like, I get it. You know, hey, you're an adult now. You have the money to do these things, and like, you know, spend your
Mhm.
money, do whatever you do. You get your bread, you do it however you want. I'm not gonna hit on you
Yeah.
for that. But don't be knocking little kids over just because you want to be first in line. You bitch. Like, did you not learn how to fucking have patience? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
why I hate. That's why I hate. Como se llama? Like I don't want to ever go back to Disney. There's nothing in Disney that's gonna make me go, oh my god, Disney, huh? Like no, nothing, absolutely nothing. Even if Disney was to buy Gundam, it's over.
Mm.
It's over. I'm suing. I don't care. I will make sure they give back whatever. Anyways, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is bitch ass people don't know how to do things and they bring kids over to movies that are loud. To some mom brought her 10 kids to watch Mission Impossible. You fucking think 5-year-olds are going to be like, "Yo, that's Tom Cruise. I saw him back in 96." Even though they were born in like 2020 or some shit. Like you really like it makes me so mad cuz it's like why do you like I get it you don't have a babysitter baby, but like you should have thought about that before going raw. You know what I mean? Like it's like your poor choices don't should not impact me, but they do, unfortunately. But I see,
Yeah.
I get it. Or so yeah,
There
like I
was
get why people. What happened, Mike? Sorry.
I was gonna say there was a time where we went to go watch when Sausage Party came out, right? And we went
That
as a
movie.
group. We went to go watch it, right? And then we got to the ending, right, where they all start, right?
The
food
O. Yeah, I
food
get it.
mixing.
And that is the moment where we saw a mom with her maybe not even like 11-year-old child walk out of the theater. I was like, "You waited this long. You waited this long. This was the last straw for you. This right now? Like over an hour or so into the movie, now you decide maybe this isn't the movie my kid should be watching."
I swear to God, dude, people, man. That's why I like, and I'm not sorry. Like I am of the firm belief that certain people should not be allowed to breed. Like certain people should not be allowed to have an orgasm. I swear to God,
I
because like
say everybody should have parenting classes to
I think
pass
that's
them.
actually that's yeah, that's probably better than what I just said. Yeah, you're right. You're a better person than I am.
Everybody has a
I
chance.
it's cause look, my issue is that I'm like I'm not a Jedi or a Sith. Like I deal with absolutes. It's
Your
either
Mace
yes or no.
Windu.
You know what? Yeah, it's either yes or no. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of controversial topics that I like talking about because people just like, oh
Mm,
no no that's blah blah blah, you know? And I'm like, no
mm,
bitch, like it's just human nature, like it's part of who we are. Like for
mm.
example, right now that I just thought about it, the Lord of Flies movie, it had to do a lot with no fuck that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Lilo and Stitch. Mike, take the mic, go.
All right, bet. All right, now
Mikey, lay
granted,
this shit out.
I got a little quick.
I get that. Wait. I still have this. I got the clip that dude. This is the it's a Nerf gun. Oh god. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I'm not violent. I don't have any weapons. Actually, I do have a bow and arrow in my closet, but that's a different story.
Whoa, wait. What?
I have a bow and arrow in my closet,
Why?
so I can do archery.
Oh, true. Right. No, he's right. He's onto that. Anyways, Mikey, go ahead.
So, granted, I have not seen the actual movie, right? I've only heard of like what people are talking about it and everything, but it's because of what people are saying about the movie, which is making me I'm not gonna watch this movie. Um, the original movie is all about the idea of family and whatnot. Ohana
Mhm.
meaning family. Family means nobody gets left behind, except for in this live action movie. Lilo gets left behind because Nani gives her up to Child Protective Services so she can go to college in America.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
it's okay. She has the portal.
Oh yeah, it's okay because she has technology and everything.
Yeah,
Because her family would have wanted her to give Lilo up to the government and go to America because it's so much better over there for her to study marine biology instead of in Hawaii.
which is also in America.
By the way, Hawaii is in America. Yeah, Hawaii is part of the
I
states.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So
true, yeah, but like,
in the
yeah,
mainland, you meant in the mainland.
Yeah,
I no,
yeah,
I'm picking up what you're putting
I
down.
know what
Don't
you
get,
I know what you meant, but because
don't worry.
I was seeing this short of like people being dumb and they're like, do you like saying like, do you have a passport? It's like to fly to Hawaii. It's like I don't need a passport. It's a domestic flight. It's like no. You need a passport for internet. It's like I'm flying to Hawaii. It's a domestic flight. What do you mean I
People,
need a
man.
passport for?
What do you mean I need a passport to go to a different state? What the Hawaii is not part of the states.
oh
Yes, it
my
is.
god.
Part of the territories. Well, it's because it's not connected to the mainland. Therefore it's not part of the states. I will end my life right now if you don't shut the fuck up. I swear to God, dude, I had to have a conversation like that with one of my cousins, and I was like, you know, Alaska's part of the 50 states, right? He's like, no, it's not. It's part of Canada, and I'm like, no, it's Alaska's part of. Did you never see Balto? Like, really? Like, they talk about this. And he's like, no, it's part of fucking Canada because it's up there. Why the fuck would it be down here? And I'm like, and yes, he talks like that. And I'm like,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
dude, like, do you not understand that territories are divided based on proximity? And I'm like, no, no, Hawaii is all the fuck down here, and it's a state. And he's like, no, it's its own sovereign thing, and they have a king and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, there's like the big kahuna and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, in the islands and whatnot. And I'm like, dude, you're just talking about the people the natives from there. You're talking about the natives from there. You're not talking, yeah, well, those natives are not American. They're natives to Hawaii. That's why it's its own country. And I'm like, oh my God, don't ever have kids. Don't ever have kids. Don't ever have kids.
He's one of the
Don't
people that
ever
need
have kids.
parenting classes.
Exactly. And then his dumbass girlfriend, he's like, no, babe, Hawaii belongs to England. It's like, they're on the other side of the map. The closest thing to them is what? Japan? Maybe like the little Asian countries down there,
There's
Antarctica's part,
a couple
or
island countries in the way, but yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like arguing with him about that, and I'm like, dude, like seriously, like you need to just shut your mouth sometimes. Like just like it's okay. Like what Mike said, I get it. No, I understand what he's saying. But
Mhm.
my cousin full on believed that Alaska belonged to Canada, and he fully believed that Hawaii was its own like kingdom and shit. And I was like, dude, no,
My
just because
god, dude.
there's like natives there, and he's like, well, yeah, well, the natives, and I'm like, what about the natives? And he's like, well, yeah, they weren't taken over, and I was like, God, did you? Oh my God. Okay, all right,
They weren't taken over.
okay,
We only, bribed them to submission.
yeah, see. But anyways, point being, Mike, I did hear about that
Mhm.
Nani ended up giving Lilo away,
Spoilers,
and
by the
Mhm.
way.
spoilers, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, at this.
yeah. Well,
Oh
to
my
be honest with you
god.
guys, ladies and gentlemen, the audience, like, I can't. I can't give you guys a spoiler warning for everything because it's just like one, I forget, and then two, it's like we're gonna talk shit. So why even like why even bother? Like why even bother going to watch the movie?
Mhm.
I mean, well, you could because you're your own person, you can make your own decisions and stuff,
Yeah,
but when Mike says, "Yeah, this is garbage," take it for granted
dude.
because
It's
he's
like,
in it. He's in it to win it. You know what I mean?
cause it's like they made so many changes. Like,
Oh yeah, like they took out the main villain.
Yeah,
yeah,
gone to.
Gantu's not in the movie, and the main villain is Jumba, and Jumba doesn't even have his accent. He just sounds like Zach, or what's his name, Zach Galifianakis. I think he's
I
the
don't
guy
even know
that
who
plays
that
Jumba,
guy is.
the guy from The Hangover, the chunkier guy
Oh,
from the group.
sure.
Yeah, he plays Jumba. Doesn't even try an accent or nothing. He just sounds like himself. And also Jumba and Pleakley are just in human disguises the entire movie,
Save money.
and Pleakley is not out here serving cunt, dude. He Pleakley Pleakley is not being zesty at all. At least from what I've heard, dude. He doesn't wear he doesn't wear the bomb.
Oh my God, I can't. I cannot believe you. I'm fucking crying, my guy. Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Bleakley is not out here serving cunt in the movie, man. It's so disappointing.
That was his whole speech. That was his whole.
That's what I'm saying.
It's because it reminded me of a video. There's this guy, he has a weave, right? And it looks exactly like the one that Bleakley has. And he just goes, Jumba, get in here. And it's like, I have to find it. I have to find it. I can't even describe it right now. I fucking can't stand you. I'm so glad I'm sitting down, dog, because I can't fucking stand you. Oh my god. Can't believe you said that. Because he's right. He's right. Ladies and gentlemen, he's absolutely right.
They took out
He's
the
not even
character
out of line.
development.
He's just right.
Oh my gosh.
I can't stand you, Mike. Oh my god, I cannot believe that. And like, what makes it worse is that I cannot believe Mike said that. You could have expected that from me, you know. But Mike, oh, Mike got jokes. Mike is funny.
He's starting to feel comfortable in the podcast.
Hell yeah, he's showing his true colors. No, but I heard that too. That Bleakley was not serving cunt, and he was just there, like he was just there or whatever. And then that Jumba didn't have his accent, which is what sold me on Jumba. And that he just looks like a really like deformed mole too. From what I've seen. And it was just like really like the CGI is. Have you noticed that the CGI is getting worse and worse as time goes by?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I figured out why. I figured out why. Hear me out, okay? When we used to watch Transformers, I used to pay attention to how the Transformers would transform. I feel like they do an optical illusion to make you think or see what they want you to see, which is like the gears turning and stuff like that. But when
Yeah.
you sit down and you watch it, it's just an amalgamation of things just doing this, like going into each other. Not actually like you see parts sliding open and like opening up like really robotic, but then the
Yeah.
pieces inside of that they're just merging together to make you feel like they're moving and stuff like that, right? Well, a lot of stuff that has newer CGI, it's so realistic per se that, como te lo digo, it's like you could just tell because of the way it moves, because of the way it looks, the shading, the lighting is just not right. So like that's why it looks so fake and so CGI that you could just tell. With the Mandalorian, Grogu is an actual puppet.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't look like shit. But if you go back to Star Wars where Yoda looked fine. Like you could believe, oh yeah, that's a little puppet, or that's a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the one with Luke, yeah, that was also a puppet, and you could tell, like a little, you know, you could just tell, and also you could see the strings moving them too. By the way, in certain scenes, you could, when he moves his hand, you can see the little wire. You can. So
Nice.
and also in certain scenes of the older Star Wars, you can see the silhouettes, like the green screens, as you will. You can see them sometimes. Um, yeah. So CGI has just been going to shit. Like She-Hulk was god awful. Like I was like, God, that doesn't look right. Like she looks gross, you know. But yeah, man, Lilo and Stitch, dude, way to like. And you know what's funny? Like they didn't drag it out. I think they learned from Cinderella to not drag out. Oh yeah, this is coming out. Blah blah blah. We're gonna show you so much product and this and that, and we're gonna let all these people talk about what's going on. They did not let a single person talk about the movie, as far as I know, because I didn't hear
Only
nothing about.
the only thing they did was just Stitch doing pranks for marketing in random stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
That's
and
the
the
only thing they
director.
did.
I think that's what they did before when the original one came out, right? Like I
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember
yeah, he
it was
did.
like commercials of like Beauty and the Beast and like Stitches like hanging off the rafters and something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. But my point though is like they really didn't let the audience see what they're gonna get versus Cinderella, where it was just like what, a year and 2 years of just her bashing on it and like
You
all
mean
this
Snow
other
White?
random. Snow White, yeah, yeah.
Oh, Snow White, Snow White, yeah, yeah.
Same bitch, different toilet.
No, because
Este,
Cinderella was actually a good remake.
my God, which one was that one?
Oh, that was the one that came out like years ago though,
Yeah.
right? Like you're not talking about because I know there was one of them like that came out like I think like a year or two ago that like switched up some things and like the fairy godmother was a dude and like
Oh no,
nobody liked that
that
one.
was a TV show. That was a TV show,
Oh, it
not
was
a
a
movie.
TV show. Oh, okay,
That
okay,
was
okay,
like a Prime TV show, something like that. Though, but there was
okay.
one Disney
I know
made.
that there
I
was,
don't know.
yeah, I think it was one of the first ones, right? Wasn't that
I
one of the first like actual like live action remakes that they kind of did?
I don't remember.
Because then they did like Beauty and the Beast shortly after, I
Yeah,
think
it's
with
around that time. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm thinking the one that I was talking about.
But you're talking about Snow
Uh,
White, like this, the last one that just came out that flopped super hard,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
by,
that shit flopped so bad.
and it ruined this
It's
girl's career forever.
yeah, that's that one girl, the Rachel Zegler. Yeah, she deserves it. Anyways, Snow White and the Huntsman. That's the one that I was like,
Oh.
oh, that's like that was the good one because it was funny because it's Kristen Stewart, Chris Hemsworth, and Charlize Theron. Oh,
Mm.
je ne sais quoi. It had that perfectness to it,
Mm.
and it was awesome.
Because I think that one's more like just adapting like the actual like story of Snow White, right? Or like
Yeah,
it's kind of doing its own thing. Because I know the Disney movies like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and stuff, they're not made by Disney. They're like adapting stories that
The
have already
Brothers
been
Grimm.
made.
I think
Yeah,
it was
like the
by the
Brothers
Brothers
Grimm
Grimm.
ones, yeah, and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So that's why like you see like there's other movies like I think like Tarzan. There's like 3 or 4 different Tarzan movies, but like
you
no, I
think
don't think
Tarzan was clapping
made
monkey cheeks before she met Jane? Anyways,
yeah.
no. Do you know what's funny? The last Tarzan live action movie. We're gonna skip what I just said. It's the last Tarzan movie. The live action one that they made was pretty cool. Was actually really really good, especially with the shut up, Mike.
I just thought of it. Like yeah, he was going ape. He was going
Yeah,
ape on
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, that shit was sick. No, I like that movie because it's so unrealistic. Like that man would have gotten his ass beat by that gorilla, but it's plot. I get it. You know
Mm,
what I mean? And then he became a civilized man, and then he lost all his powers, and he became white. But anyways, um, it's cause like I don't know, dude. Like CGI and just good story, just movie making, just good movie making is just like a lost art almost. You know what I mean? I feel like Mike and I could make a better movie than freaking Disney could ever fathom. To be honest with you, because like inclusion, right? My thing is okay,
mm,
mira. I might get some heat for this, but fuck you. If you're not part of the story, don't worry about it. It's not for you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, why do characters have to be gay? Why?
mm,
Well, Beto, there's gay people out there. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm not saying them. I'm not saying. But what could? Okay, okay. If if I have characters in some of my stories that are gay, in my head, them being gay isn't a moving point.
mm,
Unless it's something where like the dad is very like reserved or whatever, and he doesn't want his son to be gay or whatever, and his what's it called, his popularity will go down and like all this other shit, and like the story is
mm,
like, yeah, well, I'm gay, I like men and whatever, and go do your thing. Okay, cool. But that to me is just another part of being accepting of yourself. You know
mm,
what I mean? Like me, for example, that I have this the newsflash, I have this very bad internal hate towards myself. I'm working through it.
mm,
That's why I'm going to therapy. Blah blah blah. But if I was to write about me and my internal struggle with my own anger because of my mom, because of my dad, because of my sisters, whatever, why would someone come and say, "Hey, you know what will make the story better if you were gay?" Like to me, that's just like that has nothing to do with what the story is.
yeah.
So
I don't like the Hollywood like written gay
yeah,
like
yeah,
because like the whenever like whether it's like a TV show or movie and stuff like that, whenever like it's brought up that a character is gay, like from that point on, like the show or like the writers just kind of make that their whole personality and stuff like that, and like I would rather just have like unless like the story like revolves around like their identity or like like their struggles with like identifying as that or whatever, right?
mhm, mhm,
But like other than that, like I like hate like I know that there's like a lot of like flamboyant gay people. I know a couple of them. But like I hate when like the stereotype is that like that's every single gay person out there,
mhm.
and like I don't know. It's just, and then like how you were saying, like sometimes they'll just add like a subplot to a character where it's like, oh, it turns out they're gay, you know, and like that's the subplot or that's like the thing,
So
you
look,
know.
I'm gonna give you the perfect, to me, in my opinion. Hear me out. In Dexter,
Mhm,
there's a scene, or there's in the season, this mob guy comes from from Kiev or some shit like that to
mhm,
avenge the death of another mob guy. And the beginning they write it off as like, oh, they were friends or something, right? Like they didn't
mhm,
give it much importance. All you had to know was they were in the same gang, right? He's out for
mhm,
revenge because they killed one of his boys or whatever, so he's out to get him. As the season goes on, you're like, damn, like this guy really wants to kill Dexter. Like why? Blah blah blah. Turns
mhm,
out the guy that Dexter killed was his lover,
mm,
and you're like, oh, okay, so that's why he's so hell bent on killing Dexter. Okay, proceed.
mhm. Yeah,
But it wasn't like, oh my god, he's gay. The show is so much better now. No, no. It had
yeah,
nothing to
because
do
it's
with
part of
that.
the story. Yeah,
It
it's
was just
yeah,
like, oh, that makes more sense. Okay, cool.
mhm,
Proceed. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
wasn't like, oh, now Dexter has to be gay. Like or
mhm,
Dexter's a homophobe or something. Like, no, no. Had nothing to
yeah,
do with it. Even certain characters that you look at them and you're like, yeah, he's a little zesty, and then you're like, oh, he's not? Okay, cool. Whatever. You know,
mhm,
you just move on, and you just move on.
yeah,
And it's not because I'm trying to take the light away from the LGBT, from the gay community. I just say the gay community because it's too many letters. Um, and I suck at algebra. Este, it's it's okay to be who you are. It's
yeah,
okay to want to be something. I get it, I do, but that doesn't mean go out and grab something that's already made, make it your own, and then hash it out as the best thing ever. Like
mhm,
I will burn down, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't say this out loud like that, but I will burn down the company that says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make Kratos gay in this live action."
mm.
It's like I don't wanna see Kratos get back shots. I wanna see him give them. You know what I mean? Like I don't. You know what I mean? Like I don't wanna. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like I don't.
On the I like
I'm sorry.
there was a meme that I saw where it was like what it was his name Icarus or something from like the Nintendo games
I'm
or something.
Greek. Show me your mole. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because Palutina before that, she's like, "Oh no, I guess I'll have to give up my body. Move, wench! Why is he coming towards me? I'm Greek!" Then he says something else like, "Show me your ball!" He's like, "Ah!" He starts screaming. Yeah, I love that. I love that shit. That shit's so
Yeah,
funny.
he got him one music in the background.
Dun dun dun, like loud as shit. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And then in certain videos, because there's different variations of it, the O circle that for you to grab comes up when Pit is like on the, like, you know what I mean? Oh, dude, it's so good. And then you know God of War 3 where they do the POV where Poseidon gets his head grabbed and it's like this and they just
Mhm,
put Pit inside of the hand. Yeah, dude, I love that fucking video. That video is so fucking funny. But yeah, dude, like I said, like there's a place, there's a time and place for everything. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And the thing with me is that I don't know enough to talk about certain topics. Like I
mhm,
cannot talk to you about trans community, and all these. I can't because
mhm.
I'm not in those communities and I'm not
Yeah.
part of those communities, right? Um, and that's just, to me, that's just like a cheap way to give your plot something or move a story, and
Mhm.
it's so cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
think
like,
it's also something that like because a lot of companies they shoehorn in a lot of stuff like that and like and it's all like for the quote unquote name of inclusion and
mhm,
like I
mhm,
think like even like how we're talking about the boys like parodies that concept so well
mhm, mhm,
because it's like oh yeah we're doing this for inclusion but like in reality it's like yeah we're gonna get points up in this community and we're gonna get this and that and so like, because like that kind of is like how it feels a lot of the time when like
mhm.
especially when it comes to like movies and TV shows and stuff where they kind of try and make like a character, like gay or something for like a subplot or something like that and it's supposed to be like some like twist or some like big reveal or something like that when in reality it doesn't serve really the narrative as a whole.
Right.
It kind of just comes out of nowhere.
Like if the story of a character is, I'm being hunted down because I'm in love with a man.
Mhm.
and that's the whole story. I don't want to watch that.
Mm.
But okay, I'm gonna give you this. I just thought about this. John Wick. Hold on.
The new one, the
John Wick.
ballerina.
No, John Wick, right? It's not stated, right,
Mhm.
that they go and they kill that his wife dies or anything like that. No, he's just depressed because someone in his love life died.
Mhm.
But they never say it's a man or a woman. And then
Pretty sure they
this.
do.
No. Hold on. I'm thinking. Okay, like I see fucking math equations right now, dude. This guy, they kill his lover, and he goes on a rampage. And at the end of the episode or at the end of the movie, he goes to the grave, leaves a rose, and it's a male name. And you think, oh shit, like they killed his brother or his best friend or maybe his lover or something like that. And the next movie or something like that, it's like, yo, no, he was my man, like he was my husband,
Mhm.
and they killed him.
In
They
John
beat him, they
Wick.
killed him. No, I'm saying like
No,
imagine
it
Oh,
something cool like John
Yeah.
Wick, right?
I was
But the
like,
way
I
you
remember
write
the movie very differently from.
no. But I'm saying like
I was
imagine a
so
badass character.
confused.
Mm.
Like I'm saying like imagine a badass character like John Wick goes through the entire story doing what John Wick does very well.
Mhm.
But the idea is that he's doing it for revenge. He's doing well,
Yeah.
obviously, because that's the whole John Wick movie. But instead of a dog or a car, it's his husband. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? That I understand. That I
Yeah.
understand. It's like, oh, you killed my husband, you killed this, and then throughout the movie, they throw like very bad like name calling, like make like fag
Mhm.
or something, like really bad names or whatever.
Mhm.
And you're like, what the hell, like what? And at the end, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what they meant. I thought they were just making fun of him because of whatever, because his long, beautiful
Mhm.
hair or whatever. But no, it turns out he's killing because they murdered his husband. Like I get
Mhm.
it, like that I understand. But the whole oh I gotta be gay and flamboyant and I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to fit the gay stereotype in order for the movie to be included. Like no, dude, like no, no, like there's so many I've met so many amazing like people from the community that I don't even know
Mhm.
they're gay until they tell me, or until they tell
Mhm.
me, you know what, Beto, you're very handsome, like you're a big boy, like I like you, you're very nice. Let me go get you some coffee, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. And then I realize, oh shit, I'm being hit on. I didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't tell me until like way later. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, cool. Well, I like you because of the way you treat me, not because of what's in your pants or what you don't want to be in your pants. You're like, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It becomes a problem when that's the topic.
Mhm.
Like, hi, I'm so and so, and I'm gay. Like that. It's like, dude, I don't need to know that. I don't care. As a matter of fact, I'm not afraid that you're gonna hit on me. Hit on me, baby. That's fine. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
don't. I'm not afraid of that. But with Lilo and Stitch, what I am afraid about is that este they ruined the story, or they moved the story around. They basically did their own fan fiction with it.
Mhm.
And my question is for what? And
Yeah.
the director answered that question. He was saying that now that it's a live action, he tried to use the it's a different medium excuse, right? And he also said that the reason why they took out Gantu was because he was too big and it just didn't make sense to have a giant fish dude walking around. I'm like, but it's okay in cartoons. It makes sense in cartoons though. And I mean, in a way, it does because it's a cartoon. It's supposed to be,
Yeah.
whatever. But I was thinking about it and I was like, but the main focal point is Stitch,
Yeah.
an alien,
Mhm.
a blue alien with four arms, spikes, and can
That
lick his
reminds me.
brain.
That reminds me. The thing that makes me mad is this live action movies where there's no live action, like the
Oh,
Lion
that's true.
King.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, hold on. Pause. Because the live action Lion King movie was not that bad. It wasn't
That's
that bad.
fine. It's not live
It wasn't that bad.
action.
But there is no live action. Like I need some action live. Like I need these fucking lions to be
It's all
fighting in front of me and
CGI.
shit.
It's a
I need y'all.
It's like Toy
I need
Story.
real life footage of lions and stuff like that, and they use that '90s method where it makes it look like the mouths are moving on animals and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I need
yeah,
live action. That's what
yeah.
It's as real
But
as Toy Story. Same method, CGI the whole way.
live action Toy Story, but the movie's entirely CGI.
oh, that's what you meant.
Technically,
My dumbass meant. I thought my dumbass understood. You wanted to see action in these live action
Oh,
movies. Oh, okay. No, I get it now. No. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
I went
I
from
fucked.
Mufasa the
I fucked.
Ball to Blicky, you know.
No, yeah, I completely went off the rails on that one. But okay. The thing is, with the Lion King, how are they gonna do live action acting with animals, with real
Yeah,
animals, dude?
You
Come
don't
on.
need
that's
to do
what
live
they
action
do.
movies for everything.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like,
Exactly. That's
that's
exactly what I've been saying
what
too.
yeah,
Not every single thing needs a fucking live action. Just come up with something
like,
better or do
and
better.
when they try and do live action, like they try like changing the story and the way that like things play out, like just to make it different. But if you're making a live action remake of something, at least like stick as close to the source material as
Yeah.
possible. 'Cause, like then you get a situation like Lilo and Stitch where like they made so many changes that like it's not even the same story overall as Lilo and Stitch, you know? And it's like I remember I saw somebody talking about it and the way that they put it was that like this movie is like half an hour longer than the original movie and yet it has less to say with it.
Oh,
Oh, you know another live action that was good? Maleficent. It was the same Snow White's,
Mm,
I mean
oh
Sleeping
my
Beauty
God, that's
story,
true.
but
With
it was
Angelina
completely
Beautiful
different.
Jolie.
They changed
Oh,
everything
mm.
about the
oh,
story, but it
And
was
because the
good
thing is, like,
because they
the
changed
perspective was
perspective.
different, right? Like, because you were seeing it from Maleficent's
Yeah.
perspective.
yeah,
And so, like, stuff
yeah.
like that is fine because, like, it's not necessarily a remake, it's a retelling of, like, a different perspective,
Right,
you
right.
know?
And also that fucking soundtrack. I know you. Because I don't remember how it goes. Once Upon a Dream or something like that. No,
Mhm.
that movie, the with not only was it good because it was Angelina Jolie, it was really good because of how they explained it and what happened, and you're like, oh, now I get it now. Like I see it, I see the vision. Because the original Sleeping Beauty, the cartoon one, I was like, so she got mad because she wasn't invited to the baby shower? Like for real, bitch? Like really? Like you're mad because of that? But no, it turns out there was more to it. I don't remember because
Mhm.
I don't remember. But anyways, but yeah, no, that one was actually really good. I like that one. Again,
Mhm.
the one with the huntsman, Snow White and the Huntsman, that one's really good.
Mhm.
Um can I please get Rachel Zegler's fucking ass off my web browser, please? It's the um I want to point out that in a couple of years, maybe 5-10 years, when we actually make it big somewhere, and like I want to make sure that all the people that we talk shit on come back to us and be like, oh, I want to sue them for whatever the fuck. It's like, bitch, you're not relevant anymore. Shut up.
I watched Bloodlines, the Final Destination Bloodlines yesterday.
Mm. How was
Hmm.
that one?
That's it. That's the end of my review. Thank you for watching.
Well,
No, it was okay. I guess all the YouTube reviews I saw about it were hyping it up too much. That kind of
okay.
killed it for me because it was very silly. The deaths were very
Ah,
silly,
okay. Yeah.
but it was. I
I
mean, it was
think
pretty decent. It knew exactly what it was and what it wanted to be. Did a job,
okay.
but I don't think any deaths
Mhm.
were really memorable or
Mm.
other than like the opening scene. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't really think anything else after that was very memorable or like iconic
Mm.
to the series
Oh,
like the
okay.
other
That
ones. Just kind of like
I want to
Mhm.
I want to point something out right now that I just thought about it because right here on my other monitor I have the Force Unleashed emblem for the game. Uh, right now that we're talking about Lilo and Stitch and like changing stuff, I also want to point out that there is the right way to bring something to life, right?
Mhm.
For example, I've heard terrible things about the Star Wars series, like the Acolytes and like all the other ones.
Mhm.
I heard that the only one that's going on right now that's good, that it's just like it's a worth good watch, is The Mandalorian with Daddy Pascal. I get it.
I heard Endor is good too. I've
Endor,
heard
yeah, Endor's the other one, and then
yeah.
Obi-Wan. I know that Obi-Wan,
Mm.
Endor, and Mandalorian are the three big ones that are like really, really
Yeah.
good. And then Acolytes. Which one was the one with the space lesbians? Acolytes?
I think that was Acolytes.
And the reason
Yeah.
why I say that is because not because I think that's what that is because that's what they're being called online. That's where I heard it
Mm.
from. But I know that in Acolytes, I think one of the characters bleeds her kyber crystal.
Yeah.
And if you know about Star Wars, Ivan, Isidro, you know about that, right? Like when they bleed the kyber crystals and it makes the blade red.
Yeah, that's how you make red make red lightsabers. You have to bleed the you have to make the kyber crystals bleed, and that's either to
So
like pushing your dark force into it or like killing a bunch of people with it, right? Something like that.
it's more to me it's more of a ritual. Like you
Hmm.
have to
Which the
give
ritual
in.
includes pushing your dark force into it or killing a bunch of
Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. No, no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you,
Yeah.
bitch. Um, in the movie, the one of the biggest things that really shocked me about the new trilogy of Star Wars movies with Rey was Kylo Ren.
Hmm.
Because motherfucker, the moment he showed up, he stopped the freaking laser with the Force. I was like, oh my god, I was like,
Hmm.
oh, he's him,
Yeah.
And then the way he talks, the way he presents himself, the way he wants to lick his grandfather's boots, his the most important thing to me that really, well, I was like, you know what, I kind of want to see more, was the lightsaber. The
Hmm.
lightsaber is the direct representation of what Kylo Ren is. Like he's not too sure if he really wants to be a Sith. He's kind of just doing it because he thinks his grandfather was a Sith Lord like that. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So he wants to be like Darth Vader, the legendary Darth Vader. So when his blade turns on, it does like a really sick, gnarly, nasty crackle that it does, and the
Yeah.
blade comes out because it's just broken because he broke it because he wasn't 100% devoted to it or whatever the fuck, right? In Acolytes, the lady is literally holding the blade out, and it just slowly turns red,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, so you're just gonna do that because you can, or is it because you're just like that good? Or and like her face was just like, oh my god, like she looked like she's like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm doing,
Like
like I don't know,
why is
what
that?
was
Why is
this,
this happening? You know.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
you can't tell me, oh, it's because the build up and blah blah blah, and I was like, no, no, she's
That's
fighting
not
some
how it
dude,
works. Yeah.
yeah, she's fighting some dude, she got mad, and all of a sudden her blade turned red. I was like, then if that's the fucking case, when Anakin Skywalker went to go kill the Sand People, his blade should have been red then.
I was gonna say too. It's like when I heard about that, and I was like, but that's not how it works. And so like, so when Anakin killed all those kids, when they were like, Master Skywalker, what we gonna do? And his lightsaber was blue, and cuts to him, I already murdered them, and his lightsaber's still blue when he's fighting Obi-Wan. That wasn't enough to make it red, or was that
Or is there
like was
something,
the
or is there
force?
some bullshit that people didn't even, and that's what makes me mad because, like, if I was to write a story about a Jedi turned evil, I would make the bleeding of the even if it was in the middle of a battle, you would have to
Mhm.
have Anakin and Obi-Wan level fight sequences where they're talking to each
Yeah.
other, they're fighting, and every single time the lightsaber hits, it gets more and more red or something like that. Or he's
Mhm.
just yelling and screaming in you see him grip the handle so
Yeah.
hard that his hands bleed or something, or something
Yeah.
cool, not just, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
makes, it infuriates me because it's like, dude, like this is something top shelf, top tier that you could use as material for something amazing, and you're wasting it on some bitch ass character that nobody even remembers anymore because nobody talks about it. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like that's not. It's like
yeah. Like,
it's like when Vegeta
I
went.
remember seeing the comic when like Darth Vader had got his red lightsaber. He had to like face like 5 trials in order to get
Yeah,
it. Where because first of
yeah,
all he had to kill someone, for their lightsaber because it couldn't even be his old lightsaber to kill someone for
Yeah.
it. And he had to go to like a Mustafar again, like the planet where he was born, where Darth Vader
hmm
was born. Then he had to like get into his like meditation chamber with the lightsaber, pushing force into it, as well as like reliving his biggest regrets in his life. So it was this
yeah,
very, very trial heavy, not
Mhm.
the run of the mill, not oops, I accidentally did it. You just have to be dedication to it because
yeah.
kyber crystals do not react to sits, and that is the whole
Yeah.
point. You have to break the kyber crystal. You have to make it
you
yours.
you have to force it, yeah.
Yeah,
And the main actor that did Star Wars Force Unleashed, that's why that I use him for reference a lot, but hopefully I don't mess up the stuff because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's that one of the things that I love that this guy pointed out was that when they were doing the meditation scene, for Starkiller, right? That's his name, Starkiller.
Yeah.
Um, he was like grunting and like he was just like like he was just like in pain, like he had a headache or something. And they asked him like, "Hey, you're supposed to be meditating. You're supposed to be chilling. What the fuck are you doing?" And the guy's like, the main dude that plays him, he's like, he's a Sith. He doesn't know how to meditate. He doesn't know about peace. He just knows
Mm-hmm.
about anger and forcing. Like he has to force the force together. You know what I mean? He has to
Yeah.
command it. He has to own it. And that's not what the force is. And that's my thing. Like I feel like a lot of these creators, directors do not understand the concept of what they're using. To be
Mm.
fair, to be honest with you guys, that's why I stopped writing because I love magic. Magic is something that is very armor plot driven,
Mm-hmm.
realistically speaking, because you use it as for plot, right? Example, Harry Potter is a wizard movie, and they do not do a lot of spells. They do the same four spells, and they don't even do anything super cool. The only thing that I thought was super fucking sick was when Voldemort and Dumbledore were fighting in the glass thing, and
Mm-hmm.
freaking Voldemort did a fire snake. Like I thought that was cool. You know, there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cool. There was some cool battles, but like it was just dialogue. It was just, oh Harry, your mom loved you. Oh Harry, your dad was a dick. You know what I mean? Like it was just a lot of dialogue. It wasn't a lot of magic battles and stuff like that. So this has to do with that because of this. If you don't understand what you're doing or what these things do, you're gonna mess up one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because like, how are you gonna tell me that this person who is nowhere near Darth Vader of all people, because mind you, there's stronger people than Darth Vader, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot,
Yeah.
it's just that Darth Vader, aka Daddy Anakin, he's Jesus in that fucking story. Basically, he's
Yeah.
he's the redemption and all this other stuff, right? How are you gonna tell me that some random thing in the universe all of a sudden, oh yeah, look, and then that's it? Now I have a red lightsaber.
Yeah.
No, like you're not gonna disrespect my man's Anakin and everything he's built up to be just for your plot to make more sense and just for you to make money. Fuck you. Spit on yourself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Spit on
I'm not
yourself.
doing this. Like spit on yourself. Yeah. I'm not with it because like everything has its place. I think
Yeah.
the one of the big reasons why I liked Aragon the movie, because I read the book, okay, respectfully, and I have the series. Um, in the
Respectfully, I
Aragon,
didn't.
no, I know because you don't know how to read, pero
I don't.
and I say that I stand that shit on business on my mama. No, I'm kidding. No, no, no. My thing about Aragon was that there's a few scenes where Brahm, Aragon's mentor, is explaining to him what magic is, and to me, that is the best way to explain something. He said, because Brahm, he's trying to strike flint and steel to make fire. So he kind of cheats and he whispers the word Brinsinger. So Aragon's watching him and he's like, "How did you do that? How did you do magic? Teach me how to do it." It's exciting, dude. He just saw him cast fireball, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Brahm tells him, "You're not ready for that. You're too young to understand the concept of it." So in another scene, Aragon heard the name of for fire, which was Brinsinger. So he grabbed his bow, he pulled it, and he yelled out Brinsinger, shot the arrow, and it caused an explosion and fire and blah 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 blah. And then he passed the fuck out. So when he woke up, Brahm explained to him that in order for you to use magic, you have to know what it is you're talking about. You have to understand what you're doing. It's not just a simple pull the arrow and shoot it. No, you have to understand the cause and effect of what that is. So he said you also have to know and understand what you're commanding. For example, fire. Brinsinger. Brinsinger means fire. Brinsinger is fire. So when you speak the word, you are invoking fire. You are invoking that magical mystical thing, and it doesn't become yours. It just you help guide it. So that's when he explains when he pulled the arrow and he put it on the tip, he was speaking about that. But when he called on it with such a emotion, with such a want to summon it that it took a lot out of him. So that's why he passed out. So as he got older and he practiced and he learned certain words from the elves and all this other stuff, and he understood like, hey, if I need help, if I need a tree, for example, I think it was spriga or something like that, which means branch or leaf or something like that, then I know that if I need a leaf, I'll call upon the leaf, but I know that I need to do it in such a way where it doesn't drain me. So I have to be in control and all this other stuff. So to me,
Mhm.
even though it's kind of boring to some people, to me, I like that because it's part
Yeah.
of, you have to know your world. Your character, the main character is explaining to you how this world works. In Star Wars, they don't do that. The Force is just the Force. You know what I mean? And all this other stuff and all these meticulous things, but they never truly show you unless you pay attention. For example, with Anakin and when he went to go kill the Raiders, with Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight, like that moment in Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight when they were fighting, that was the Force in motion. It's just people
Mhm.
don't see it that way. They see it some other way. Also, what other way? When Yoda has his flashbacks, or like when Yoda has its like, oh, like into the future, like he sees that because the Force is helping him guide him there. The Force
Mhm.
ghosts, the Force is so lenient with them that allows them to come back and see what's going on.
Mhm.
So why did this character, who is nowhere near detailed enough, how is she able to do one of the hardest things that a person can do in this universe, which is bleed their own kyber crystal? Because again, as far as, yeah,
I have the answer.
okay,
She's a woman.
Cause it looks cool.
it doesn't
And
look
she's a
cool at all.
woman.
It did not look cool to me at all. When I saw, I was like, is she bleeding the kyber crystal? I was like,
Yeah, dude, it
wait,
looked cool. It went from blue to red. You didn't see?
no, okay, yeah, okay, I get it, I get it, but like it made me, like it didn't make me mad at first because I
Mhm.
didn't care because I wasn't watching the fucking show, right? And at the
Mhm.
time, I wasn't that much of a Star Wars geek, and I'm stin't not, but
The
I
time didn't
know
it happen
enough, right?
recently?
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is, don't mess with my timelines because I don't remember things. Anyways, um, I remember seeing that, and I remember saying, why is that so relevant? Like, why are people shitting on it so much? The sword just went
Mhm.
from red to blue. Oh shit, she bled the kyber crystal. That's very important. When Jedi's go to make their handle for their blade, it's something that they have with the Force. As far as I know, it's them building their weapon basically, right? So
Mhm.
each Jedi makes it out of different materials, usually native to their homeland. Este, but they use the Force to help them make it, as in kind of making like a deal with the Force or a pact almost,
Same
right?
the same thing
So
with the
when you,
kyber crystal. That's why it turns
mm-hmm,
specific colors.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So
Their connection with the
Kyber,
force itself.
yeah, so Kyber crystals are naturally not naturally red. They don't, as far as I know, they don't exist.
Yeah.
So you have to make it. So in order for you to go from Jedi to Sith, you have to commit to the act of bleeding it, of basically giving yourself to that dark entity, to basically admitting that you're gonna do horrific stuff and
It's
you're
also
okay with
what makes it bleed is you're literally tearing apart the kyber crystal's connection to the force, the
that. Yeah,
original
see?
force. So that's what's making it bleed. You're literally tearing apart that connection that's making the force bleed, turning it red.
Yeah, see? And I love all this because it's so symbolic. You know what I mean? It's it's beautiful even because it has that poetry to it. There was nothing poetic about this lady just and that's it. There was nothing. There was nothing that made me feel, oh wow. Oh wow, like this is great. This is cinema. No, nothing. And I get it. It's a
Absolute
series.
cinema, you know?
Exactly. I get it. It's a series. They only have so much time. But dude, give me 5-10 minutes of Anakin Skywalker screaming in agony and just having flashbacks of Padme so that the fucking kyber crystal bleeds. Oh, dude, I get it. I feel it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or having Qui-Gon Jinn speak to him while he's ripping apart the kyber crystal. Dude, that's so much better. Okay, maybe don't do it with the old characters that are beloved. Make new ones. Build up a
Mhm.
character, have him already have his conflict. Sure, you can kind of guess, oh, he's gonna be evil because of this and that. Okay, yeah, cool, you got it. But the way that he does it, that's what I'm saying. We talked about this the other day, right, Mike? It's the way
Mhm.
you do things that drive the story. It's
Yeah.
the actions that certain characters do. It's that's what's important, and
Mhm.
that's
Not
why it
about the
bothered.
destination, it's about the journey.
Exactly,
The
exactly.
friends you made along the way.
and the friends we made along the way. Yeah. But yeah, maybe I should sit down and watch the Star Wars series. Again, I kind of want to watch the entirety of the movies first, and then just kind of
Mm,
get a. I want to watch the Clone Wars again because the Clone Wars
mm,
was awesome, dude. Oh my
mm.
god.
I think
I never
it's
got.
always
No, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
oh, like I was gonna say, I think it's always so weird that like when it comes to like making adaptations for like TV, film, what have you, and you have something that has so much lore and so much to it that like studios or whatever, they don't believe that the source material can carry it on its own, even though the source material is what made the fan base in the first place.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
like one of the things, like I've had this conversation many times with one of my cousins, like Mortal Kombat, right? There's so much lore to Mortal Kombat, right? In terms of like the characters, its world, and everything. And like while I do like the new Mortal Kombat movie that came out, I hate the idea that they made of called Arcana, which is basically like, oh, you have to get Arcana to have powers to, participate in
Mhm.
the Mortal Kombat tournament or whatever, right? Like, cause like for example, in the game, the character Kano, he's like a black market, criminal, right? And he just has like,
Mercenary, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like he just has a robotic eye that shoots lasers, cause that's just how he is. He has high tech and stuff. In
Mhm.
the movie, he has to get Arcana in order for his eye to shoot a laser, and it's like he's just all right.
It's
Cause
like
like,
saying,
mm,
I understand what you're saying. It's like saying, oh, we're gonna make a live action of God of War, but instead of the Chains of Olympus or the Blades of Chaos or Blades of Athena, he's just gonna use daggers, like regular old daggers.
yeah,
Like, no, bitch, I want to see the chains attached. I want to see him throw them and shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sorry, Isidro. I'm so sorry, buddy. Like,
Cause it's like
I hate it.
there's so much stuff that like they like it's like they try and make it like, oh, it's more realistic or whatever. Like I hate when studios or stuff like that say that like we're gonna make a more realistic approach. That just means that everything you loved about it that was like fictional is gonna be gone. Like it because they want to make it more realistic. Like people like to use Mortal Kombat for example. People like Mortal Kombat because they're ninjas who can shoot fire or ice or whatever. Not like because like I wonder why logistically they can do those things. Like no, it's just that's just what they do. You know?
It's cause like I hate the fact that they say we're trying to make it more realistic. No, bitch, I don't want realism. The real life that I live in fucking sucks dick and balls. You really think I give a fuck if Liu Kang can I don't even know what the fuck that motherfucker does. You really think I care if it's realistic that he shoots a you think that I want to watch him douse his hands in gasoline, light them, and be like Mortal Kombat, bitch? No, I want him to be like I'm Liu Kang, motherfucker, and then just shoot that shit out because he can, because he just can, because he's Luke motherfucking Cage or whatever, like,
Because he is
whatever the fuck his
him.
name is, because
What's
he's him. You know what I mean?
what
Like I don't
what
like I
does he
don't
do?
look. Hear me out, okay? The reason why I loved God of War in the beginning was
Mm,
because of the fucking weapons he used. Dude,
mm,
grab that sword that you have behind you, Mikey.
mm,
Just grab it. Just grab it, right?
mm.
If you were to put a chain at the end of the handle and
Oh yeah.
throw it, do you think that weapon's gonna come back to you automatically?
No.
No. Do you think that if you pull that shit, you think it's gonna do damage on the way back? Yes, of course. But is it gonna magically land in your hand when you go to grab it? No. That shit's gonna just drag on the floor and you're gonna look ridiculous. Okay? But then if you have two that are about the same size and about the same weight, and you start spinning them around, yeah, that shit looks fucking cool. Like if I had to go to war and I see a motherfucker spinning weapons around with fucking chains and fire, like dude, no, I'm not. I'm not dying for this queen. No, I'm good. I'm not dying for no king, for no queen, for no god. I'm good. He's spinning weapons and chains. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see, like, if I
Yeah.
went to war and I saw dudes in the same armor as I did. Realistically speaking, okay, I have a chance. I know what the weakness is. But if I see someone with fucking weapons that are on fire and he's yelling Athena all the time, you think I'm not gonna be afraid? Like you think I'm not gonna be entertained by that? You think that I want to see a live action version of the Blade of Olympus and it's just a bitch ass piece of metal? No, no, I want that shit to be
Yep.
hollow and I want it to have the fire of Olympus. I want that shit to look
Mhm.
mystical as fuck. Why? Because it's a fucking story. It's not a fan
Yeah.
fiction. It's a fictional thing. It's not real. None of this happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for example, Dante's Inferno, the game. Oh my god,
Mhm.
dude! Like that game, oh, has my heart. That game is so sick to me. Obviously, there was not a motherfucker called Dante that killed death and had a fucking scythe and went to hell to save his beloved. That never happened. So why would I want to have a live action version of that that is more realistic? Explain to me how they're gonna do that. But they're gonna
No.
find a way to fuck it up. I guarantee it. Oh, it's
No.
more symbolic. Blah blah blah. Like as above, so below. The one movie with,
Mhm.
the catacombs.
Yeah.
That to me was a great movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
I
I
liked
I
it.
saw the I saw the parallels. You had to do research on it for sure. You had to
Mhm.
kind of like put it together and kind of do a little bit of research and like the catacombs and what does this mean and what does
Mhm.
that mean, the philosopher's stone, what does that entail, and like blah 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 blah. Like yeah, you had to
Mhm.
do research, but that's why it was such a good movie, because it was a good watch. You were like, oh damn, okay, cool, what the fuck
Mhm.
does that mean? And it gave you that idea of like, what does that mean? So you go and look for it, right? None of that shit is real.
Yeah.
None of that shit is real. There's no portal to hell that I know of in underneath Paris in the catacombs. There's no way.
Mhm.
There's no way. It's
What?
not real,
No way.
right?
What?
Mind
There's
blown.
this no. So so when people say, "Oh, we want to make it more realistic," no, no, don't make it more realistic. Life already sucks. Look at the fucking tyrant that we have for a president. You think I want to come back to this? You think I want to? You think I want to go watch a movie about him? You know what I mean? Okay, maybe you could do that. Like, oh, there's a character that looks like Trump, and we're just gonna make fun of him, like in The Boys, right? I get it,
Mhm.
but I don't. I want fantasy. That's what I want. You know what I mean? They were saying that Lord of the Rings, well, Star Wars specifically, the guy that sells Anakin to Qui-Gon is a Jew. Is this like a metaphor for Jewish people? And I was like,
Mm. Yeah, that's a
I
take.
can't say yes or no, but at the same time, because there's things I'll get in trouble for. But it's like, if the shoe fits, you know. But
Mhm.
I don't. I think that if someone says, "Hey, I don't like," for example, for this case, I don't like Jewish people, so I'm gonna make a movie about them. You, you do know what I'm going with this, where like the Jewish people went through so much bullshit. There's a lot of
Mhm.
stuff that you could point out and use. But then you say,
Mhm.
"But I don't want to make it realistic. I want to make it fantasy. So I'm gonna make characters that is implied is the Jewish people, and then these people are these people." Okay,
Mhm.
you just rewrote history in such a way that it's more digestible, if you want to put it like
Mhm.
that. Because I don't want to watch a movie about Auschwitz. I don't want to watch a movie about the Jewish people getting enslaved by the Egyptian people. I don't want to watch that. You know what I mean? That's why The Prince of Egypt is such a great, wonderful movie, because it's a cartoon. It's a different
Mhm.
medium, and it has awesome music. Oh, dude, the music is great.
That's
Este,
good.
este, it tells the story that it needs to tell. It doesn't go into graphic detail, but it's a beautiful story that is told about the Jewish people and blah 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 and this and that.
Mhm.
Jewish people, right? Yeah, the Jewish people. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's different. You know what I mean? Like you're telling me something
El
in such a
pueblo de
fantasy.
Abraham.
Eso. Oh yeah, you're the religious dude. You know more than I do. Este. So like I said, like I don't like what's the one movie that's something about Christ, the crucifixion of
Passion of the
Christ or something like
Christ.
that?
Oh, the
Passion of the
passion.
Christ.
Yeah.
That shit did something to me. Cause like, and not in a good way. That shit scared the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? Because when people talk about, oh, Jesus died for our sins and all this other stuff, I think about that scene where he's dragging the cross. That did something to me.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
was like, damn, like he knows he's gonna die and he's still
He's him.
carrying that. Yeah, he's him. That's why he's Sky Daddy. I get it.
Mhm.
Like I see it now. You know what I mean? Is it a movie? Yeah, it's a movie. Is it a direct reenaction? Who knows? But to me, don't get offended, Isidro. But to me, that's fantasy. To me,
Mhm.
that's fantasy, because it's like God and all this mystical stuff. Because there's a lot of sort of mystical stuff and blah blah blah. Sometimes, yeah, I can say, you know what, crucifixion was a real thing. Well, it technically was. So I get
Mhm.
it. But that this specific dude or deity or whatever is the son of a god. Okay, maybe that's a bit much, but to some people, but me as a Catholic, I'm like, okay, so that's how it happened. Okay, cool.
Mm.
But it doesn't. But it's not. Fuck, ¿cómo te lo explico? Like, I'm trying to say something, but I don't know how to explain it. And it has to do with what you said, like, oh, trying to make it so realistic. It's like I don't want realism. I live in reality. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to see reality. I want to see something more. Like for example, like Alien Earth that's gonna come out soon, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanna see aliens run around the street and
Yeah.
murder people. Not because I'm a bad person, but because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've never seen a xenomorph run down the street. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like I've never seen that. Or even let's like for example, if you want to talk about realism, A Quiet Place. It's a
Mm.
fiction. It's fiction. Technically, it's fiction, right?
Yeah.
But it could be real. It could be real. Aliens could come down that look like that sound like that, and do that, and then they ear like that from there. That's that gray area where
Mm-hmm.
this could happen. This could be real, but it's fiction. Enjoy it. That's for
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? But the whole trying to make something more realistic just to like soften what it is,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like what you're saying about the dude that did the boys and the new series or the movie that he's making or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The crossing or crossed or something like that.
Crossed. Yeah.
Like I get it when it's a little bit too gory and like some topics are a little bit too much. Like yeah, sure, don't put all that stuff in there because then
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna want to be able to watch it. Or nobody's gonna be able to watch it because not everybody has the same sensitivity to gore and stuff like that. Like I
Yeah.
can watch people get decapitated on TV, but not in real life. You know what I mean? But then there's
Mm.
people that can see it both ways, and
Oh
there's
yeah.
people that can't see it at all. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I'm definitely the kind of like I love like slasher movies and stuff, like the Terrifier movies. They're like
Mm,
extremely gory and stuff like that. But when it comes to real life stuff, I'm like,
Oh yeah, all those like
yeah.
random
I don't
videos
want
on
that.
like Twitter or Facebook, I
Yeah,
skip over those. Like I don't want to
and I'm like,
watch. I don't
I'm
want to
gonna watch
watch it for
that. I don't
real.
wanna see that. Because I also I think like for me, it's also that like I kind of know like how they did it in movies and stuff like that. So like I know that like oh there was a team behind that made it look like that and everything.
Yeah, that's exactly my. That's exactly yeah.
He froze.
Because cartel videos.
Mhm.
What happened? What'd you say?
I
Mhm.
froze.
Oh, you
Oh.
froze. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that cartel videos were really popular to watch,
Mm,
right? Which
mhm,
to me is kind of macabre. Like it's kind of like, oh,
mm,
why do you want to watch that? But of course, me and the curiosity, right? I watched it, and I see what you're saying because I know that when a piece of metal enters your body, it's gonna rupture, it's gonna break, it's gonna bleed out, like in the movies. But in the movies, you have a knife that has fake blood in it that squirts
mhm.
out, and the
Yeah,
blade goes into itself, so it's not real. So you have that safety net of, oh hey, it's not real, he's not actually getting murdered. But when you
yeah,
see someone actually getting murdered, you're like, oh my god, like this is
yeah,
like he's not gonna get up,
yeah,
like he's not gonna wake up, like he's dead, like he's like the
mhm,
concept of death is terrifying.
mhm,
Not to get too sentimental, but like I say that because when I put down my dog, um, my sister did her thing or whatever, and when I went to go pet him, it wasn't the same because he was so
mhm.
still because he was already dead. He was
Yeah,
so still, and I was like, usually when I pet him, he wiggles because he's happy to, but he didn't wiggle
yeah,
anymore. So that
yeah,
broke me to pieces because I was like, damn, like it's a shock. You know what I mean? Like and
yeah,
the worst part is like I knew what was gonna happen, but I just
yeah,
wasn't prepared for it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, yeah, holy fuck, I was going somewhere with this, but I completely lost track of it, and I'm hungry, dude. I got Wingstop today, and I could only eat. I got the six chicken tender deal thing. It's not bad. It's
Hmm.
not that
Oh,
bad. Um, I only ate two, and then I
Wow.
brought them home. I only no, dude. Like I literally had like maybe like three forkfuls of the fries, and I ate the majority of the carrots, and I had two of the chicken titties. I got home, gave it to my mom, and I've been asleep all day basically. I'm so fucking exhausted.
damn.
But with this topic though, I think that a lot of the stuff that we watch has some sort of synergy in our life. Um,
Mhm,
With Mike, I have no idea what the fuck that is because I can't wrap my head around scary stuff. And I really can't because it's like so. Mike, my question to you is,
Mhm.
and I don't mean to put you on blast, but like, but
Mhm.
why? Why the horror stuff? Like, is it because you're just
Um,
built different, or is it because there is something poetic about it that you can tell that
I
other people
think
can't?
I think that there's a lot of stuff that I do love about horror, and it's just like it's the kind of stories that you're able to tell with it. And I think also it also kind of ties to like when me as a kid, I was like scared of everything, right? And I was scared of a lot of like, horror movies and stuff that I love today, right? Like I
Okay.
remember when I used to live with my grandma, she had her house, and then obviously there was only like two rooms, and there was a whole family of five and my grandma living there. So she also had back houses, right? Two of which she rented out to people, and then there was a back house that my parents used to go to sleep in, and then
Mhm.
once the morning came, like we all hung out in the regular house.
Mhm.
Um, but there'll be times where my mom or my dad or so, like one of them will fall asleep in the main house, so one of us would have to go to the back house, right? At night when it's time to go to sleep. And sometimes like my one of my like the other parent, whether it be my mom or my dad, they would have already went to go sleep. And so that meant that like I would have to walk alone from the front house to the back house. And I remember specifically, well, when I was smaller, I was terrified of Nightmare on Elm Street. So like I like would always like try and rush to the back because I was always scared that like Freddy Krueger was gonna come out and stuff like that. And I think it wasn't until like I started learning more about like the behind the scenes and like makings of movies and stuff is where I got more of like an appreciation for horror movies in general. And like I
Mm.
also I love the aesthetic. Like I've always loved like the horror aesthetic or like gothic aesthetic, dark black and white aesthetics to things. So it's always been something that I've always
Okay.
been interested in. And I always kind of like the idea of like the different stories you can tell with horror movies and stuff like that, because a lot of horror movies they use the medium of horror as like representations of different things, like to tell certain
Mhm.
stories, like Hereditary is like one of the more recent ones where it's all about grief and loss
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
stuff like that. um there was an well doesn't there was one that I saw that like some people counted as horror. It was the God, what was it called? um is the I saw the TV Glow, right? It was like one that was like made by I think A24 made it. Um or at least it looked like an A24 movie. But it was a movie that was about like body like kind of like internal like body dysmorphia and like with I believe transgenderism.
Mm.
Um
Mhm.
and stuff like that, but it used that medium of like horror in a way to kind of give a visual representation rather than just like trying to tell a story, of like, that talks about those topics. It uses kind of the horror elements to represent the kind of horrors that these people go through on a daily basis. And
Okay.
it's like stuff like that's like some of the stuff I appreciate. But then you also have like the goofy, kind of side of horror, like Goosebumps and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like I just personally like I just find it fun, and I feel like it's like a fun medium to tell stories, and I also just like getting scared. So
I think well I was gonna point that out too. Like I think it also has I okay, me personally.
Mm.
Um I think it also depends on how you were brought up because
mm,
I don't condone mindless killing.
yeah.
That doesn't mean I condone killing with mind. No, no, no. I think that every life is precious. It's
Yeah.
just that especially now as an adult, I'm coming into realizing that it's not what you say that matters, it's what you do.
mm,
So for the audience, I would like to point out that yeah, I say some really ridiculous stuff. Like I say very out of pocket stuff, right? And
mm,
Mike also does because serving cunt. So it's so I say a lot of out of pocket stuff. But if someone needed my help, I would help them. It doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter what they've done in the past, I'll help them. Um one of my close friends, he gave me not an ultimatum, but like he gave me something to think about because he told
mm,
me, "Do you like pedophiles?" And I told him, "No. Like I don't condone that lifestyle. I don't think people of that culture or that type or whatever, I don't think those people deserve rights and all this, because in my head it's like children, as shitty as they are sometimes, they're
Mm,
the most purest innocent version of us. They are the future. They're a lot of things. They're innocent. You know what I mean? And for me to say, it's like when people kick dogs or
mm,
puppies in
mhm.
specific, but
Yeah.
big ass older dogs that can maul you. Yeah, okay, yeah, kick them if you have to. You know what I mean? I get it. But don't be kicking puppies that are that are defenses. So it's more of like a justice thing for me, right? Like a justice warrior kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So he told me, well, let's say one of them is drowning and you have the possibility to save them, but you don't know he's a pedophile. Would you help him? I was like, well, if I don't know, then obviously I would help him because the first thing I see is a human drowning, so I'm gonna go help him.
Mhm.
And he's like, so what if they tell you, oh yeah, he's a pedophile, don't help him? It's like, all right, and I just walk away. And he's like, are you serious? And I was like, I would have to see in the moment, because
Yeah.
right now I'm telling you something because I'm making a wise decision, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about it, because I'm plotting it, and it's not actually happening. But the moment I see that, maybe his screams for help make me jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something like that. I told him that one time. I remember in the bus, some lady was getting assaulted in the bus, and I froze. Like I didn't know what to do. Like I got
Mhm.
so scared. I just didn't know what to do. But because my ex girlfriend was there at the time, I got up and I went to go like shove the dude, I guess. But the bus driver, she pulled over and she grabbed the dude, flung him. Big, strong black lady. I was, oh fuck, she scared the shit out of me. She's awesome. She's a sweetheart though. And she got ghetto on him. Oh, you motherfucker, bitch ass, this and that. Like grabbed him like a fucking ragdoll and threw him. And I was just like, yeah, because like no, I don't have to get my hands dirty. But
Mhm.
your actions is what really makes you, I think, is what really
Yeah.
defines you. So the reason why I say that is because in horror, I've noticed that a lot of it is just mindless. It's just to kill. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So watching, for example, Nightmare on Elm Street, as far as I know, is this dude, he was a pedophile and he got caught and he
Mhm.
got burned alive and then he died and now he's hunting people in their dreams
Mhm.
because he wants revenge or whatever. Plot wise, story wise, I get it, but it's not something I would want to get tattooed on me. Because
Mm.
the reason why I say that is because I have a few friends
It's because
that
Mike
they
say Lee
tattooed.
has a tramp stamp on his back of the claws of Freddy Krueger's hand.
Yeah, right. So there's
Well, like
there's people.
I know the original Nightmare on Elm Street, he wasn't a pedophile. I think
Oh, okay.
it was only the remake where they straight up made him a pedophile.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense
Because
then.
the
Yeah.
original one, I believe he was just a child murderer. But I
Mm,
think they kind of implied, but like they never. I don't even think they implied. I think it's just like if he's a child murderer, I guess people make assumptions as well that he
yeah.
was
That's
one.
that's that's kind of where I was
Um,
with that.
and I think when people get like tattoos of him and everything, I don't think it's necessarily that like they agree with the character or anything. I think it's mostly the actor because the actor Robert
Okay.
Englund, he made the character kind of like what he like. He's very goofy, especially in the sequels and stuff. He has like one liners. He's like doing all this kind of goofy because the movies kind of do get more and more goofier
Mhm.
because he
Mhm.
does like do with dreams and everything. And so I think that's mostly why people like the character so much and they get like him tattooed and stuff like that. It's mostly because of like the actor's performance and the portrayal of the character.
Right. Right.
More so like
I
because
see.
like I like if he was just straight up a pedophile from the get go, like well to put it this way, like there's anybody who gets like a tattoo of Freddy Krueger, it's always the original one, like the original actor and everything. It's not the remake one, right? Because the
Okay.
remake one, I mean the remake we don't talk. It was just a bad movie, and
Okay.
just in general. But
Because
also that version is just straight up a pedophile. You
it's
know,
like
it's kind of weird.
and the thing is that, and I'm not saying you do it, Mike. Don't get me.
No, yeah,
Please
yeah,
don't
yeah,
take
no,
this
yeah,
like that.
absolutely.
It's just that like I'm really stepping on my own tail here because Kratos, he kills a lot of innocent people, and I fucking love
Mm,
Kratos. So does that make me a bad person? You know what I mean? That's
mm,
that's that's
mm,
why I'm like, well, shit. I don't like horror, but I do like a dude that has killed a lot of people because of all the
mm,
bullshit that he's done. Well, in the God of War 3, when he killed all the gods, innocent or not, he destroyed the world. He destroyed the realm of
yeah,
Greece and all that, and all those innocent people that were there. He took them with the gods because he fucked everything up, basically.
mm,
So where do you draw the line of you like this character because of exactly what he's done, or you like the character because of what he means, the
mm,
symbolism to it?
mm.
Because to me, Kratos is the definition of you can change. You could get
Mhm.
over your revenge. You could um stop yourself from committing atrocities like Kratos did in the original games.
Mhm.
In the newer games, it comes to show you that Kratos did want to change, and Kratos did want to be free of his past, and he just regretted what
Yeah.
he did. Although he doesn't talk about it, although he keeps it to himself, he's still trying to teach Atreus, his kid, to be
Yeah.
better. In a lot of the
Yeah.
dialogues, he says those words like, "We must be better." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And who better to say that to Atreus than Kratos himself, who had done all these terrible things in the past? You know what
Mhm.
I mean? I think horror has that misconception in me at least, where
Mhm.
like people that tell, "Oh, I love Art the Clown," and I'm like, "You like a killer? Like you like people that just goes around and kills people?" But then if I don't know that Art the Clown is symbolic for evil in men, then it
Mhm.
becomes more.
There
You know what
is
I mean? The
there is there
symbolism of
is
it.
like there is symbolism when it comes to the Terrifier series that's not outright explained. I mean, they kind of do more so in like the newer movie
Hmm.
because art in the first movie it was just like a proof of concept of like this character that he made a short film about that people really liked and stuff like a clown slasher, right? And so the
Hmm.
first movie was basically kind of like a showcase of that character, but it wasn't until the sequel is where, because at the end of the first one he gets kind of like resurrected at the end, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And so it kind of came out of nowhere when you watch the first one. There was no sequel or anything at the time. um but in the sequels and stuff, it kind of starts developing more the story of like there's a demon involved, and there's a character that is introduced in the second one called Sienna, which is basically like Art's arch nemesis, right?
Hmm.
And she's basically like they start talking about a prophecy and stuff like that with their dad, with the Sienna's dad and stuff. And long story short is that this demon came to our realm and they saw Art with the clown back when he was like a regular guy and saw how evil he was. And so he that demon resurrected him and basically made Art work for the demon, and the demon kind of
Hmm.
took the form of like one of his first victims and stuff like that, like to make him side with him.
Oh yeah, yeah, the
um
lady. Yeah, yeah, I know.
yeah, and so Sienna was basically like her dad was given a prophecy that she was going to be, because when there's evil in the world there needs to be a counterbalance of good.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
basically what Sienna is and what she like is kind of like has become, but also is gonna become in I think like the next movie,
Right,
which is
right, right.
basically like a warrior for good to fight this evil that is Art and the demon.
So
So
when
there
you
is like very much like symbolism like there between
exactly, yeah.
like the fight between like good and evil. But on surface level, it is basically like a slasher movie of like a clown that kills people in grotesque ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a my point that I'm trying to make is
Hmm.
I don't understand how people are like, "Oh, I love this guy who does these atrocities," and it's like you like some because I've heard people say like, "Oh, I just think it's cool." Like
Hmm.
that those are the exact so like I told my friend one of my other friends Jesus because he likes watching Terrifier. And I was like, "Do you watch it because it's funny to you? Like you think it's funny?" And he's like, "Dude,
Hmm.
how do you not see that and think it's funny?" And I'm like, "You just saw a kid get blown up. Like how is that funny?" And he's like, "It's because
Hmm. Hmm.
you're taking it too serious." And he told me, "You're not watching this because you want it to be real, right?" And I was like, well, no, obviously I don't want to see kids get blown up.
Yeah.
He's like, but don't you sometimes feel like you're so mad at a kid, you just want him to blow up? And I was like, I get it now. I get
Hmm.
it now. So
Yeah.
it's really how you see it, how you perceive it that matters, you know? Because I could be
Hmm.
stuck up about every single thing that I watch and be like, no, this is wrong because of this. And it's like, nah, dude, like it's symbolic. It's
Hmm.
meant to take away that realism from you and make you
Yeah.
smile, make you happy, make you
Yeah.
laugh, or make you feel something different, right? Like
Hmm.
I myself am not comfortable with sexual assault scenes. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
I don't think it's funny. Like I
Yeah.
don't think it's funny and when you use scenes like that it's because you're driving home a very specific point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like the man or the person assaulting the other person wants power over this person and that's why they're hurting them this way and stuff like that, right? So
Hmm.
that makes sense to me, but I'm not going to glorify it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because there's people that glorify stuff like that, and it's just like that's
Yeah,
wrong.
there's
Like
and
that's
that's the
just
thing too with like the horror community and stuff, because there's a side of the horror community that does glorify a lot of that kind of like negative
hmm
stuff to it, because like there's a lot of people like in the horror community that like I don't even really want to say that they're part of the horror community, because like the way that they go about it is like um is that they watch like snuff films, which are basically like just like
Yeah,
gore
yeah.
just for gore and stuff like that. Or like they'll be, I've never met a person, but I've heard like so many people that are like, horror movie creators or stuff like that. They would talk about like their experiences with it, where like they'll say like their favorite horror movie is a Serbian film, which is a very dark, like very like has like a lot of things about like sexual assault and stuff like that. Especially like I think also at one point it like involving children and stuff, right?
I
And
think I
it's
know what you're
like,
talking about. Thank you for
yeah,
reminding me
and
about that because
so
I did not want to remember that.
and so and so and so people would say like, "Oh, it's my favorite horror film." It's like, but that's not a horror film, first of all.
That's just
Second of
people
all,
enacting the
yeah.
darkest things they could think about.
Yeah, and like that's the
Yeah.
thing that sucks about the horror community, because like there's a lot of good in the horror community. Like a lot of people with that like love horror movies and stuff. They're like very nice people in real life and
Mhm.
everything. They're like the sweetest people.
Like you.
But and then there's yeah, thank you. But, but there's like a small group, but like I feel like they're like outspoken at times, to where it kind of takes up the majority of like people's perception of it, that like do like just like the dark aspects of horror. Like I don't know how like to say it exactly.
I'll put it to you this way. There,
Yeah.
when I used to write, there was this one character that I made. I forgot his name because I don't even think I gave him a name. But the point of this character was that in order for you to reach him, you would have to, in my words, you would have to
Yeah, yeah.
defile yourself. Like
Okay.
you would have to do things to yourself that you would never want to do on others and you would never want done to you. So like sexual
Mm.
assault and like stuff like that. And the
Mhm.
reason why you would want to reach him is to like gain new power. And the
Mm.
the
Okay.
the concept of that was how far are you willing to go for that power? You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like that was
Mhm.
the idea. It wasn't like, oh, I want to write about people getting no, no,
Yeah.
no. The idea is that power that this entity can give you is so grand, it requires that much,
Power corrupts
Yeah.
you.
right? Yeah, how it makes you
Mhm.
a completely different person. And when this one character reached him, he was so exhausted and he was just so like, okay, now what? And the god's like, well, now you could do whatever the fuck you want. It's up to you. But all the transgressions, all the bad thing that happened to him left him so messed up. Like it wasn't at the end, the power wasn't even worth it because he
Yeah.
did all these atrocities to himself, to his best friend, to his mom, to his dad. Like all these people suffered because of him. And for what? Like at the end of the day, he did all these terrible things for nothing because what he wanted the power for was to make their lives better. How do you make their lives better when you did the horrendous
Mhm.
things that he did? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so on that note, talking about horror and stuff like that, because I always wanted to ask, Mike, because I was just
Mhm. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
realistically speaking, what is the attraction? And like,
Mhm.
well, let's be real, Dexter's not is not necessarily horror per se,
Yeah.
but Dexter really makes you think,
Yeah.
because he goes after villains, he goes after people that have and will, or he actually, as a matter of fact, he actually says it in the show a lot, that he says they have a ritual, they have a way of doing things, and they're gonna do it again. And time
Mhm.
again, he's proven that they do end up killing again, and they do have the rituals, and they want to do it, and they're not gonna stop.
Mhm.
So that's why he's like, that's why I'm here to stop them. And it's
Mhm.
a whole psychological thing too, because it's like psychopaths and the brains. And actually, Cedar, I think you would really like the show because it has to do with
I've
like,
seen it.
psych- oh, you do? So you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like it
Yeah,
has like
I
that.
seen Dexter a long time ago.
Yeah. So I think
Um,
I think one of the reasons why I just love it so much is because if you self-insert yourself, right? First of all, I would never be able to be a good serial killer. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't be able to because he Dexter is so neat and I'm
Mhm.
not. So so um it's the so you think about it and then you say, well, if I could get rid of all the people that do all these atrocities and like all these terrible things, yeah, I would do it too.
Yeah.
Like I would become the monster that is needed in order for there to be good. It's just like the yin and yang where there's always evil and good, but there's always good and evil. Like evil
Mhm.
people can do good deeds and good people can do bad things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, oh, you're good, you're only gonna do good things. Like no, like look at people that go to church. Oh yeah, God this, God that, they act good, and then they go outside and they start belittling everybody that they can. So Sorry, Isidro.
Yeah, well, not to get political, but modern television and movies are cooked. DEI is ruining our movies. Get rid of woke medium. um, Christians are evil. And yeah, let us know your favorite shows down below.
Oh, how long have we been going
Two
for?
hours.
Oh shit,
We've
it's
been going
already
for a
9. Oh
while.
my
Yeah, we've been going
goodness,
for
dude.
a
Bro, we get we're getting it, dude. Like we're like in it to win it. You know what I mean?
You guys are
Right
getting
now,
good at japping.
yeah. I want to
while.
ask. I want to ask right now that we're recording. Who's next for the
I think
you,
Isidro's right.
Isidro?
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do?
The Taskmaster Series
Ah,
7.
Taskmaster Series
Ooh,
7.
got it.
Right here that I have you. Let me look it up so I can find a way to
It's on YouTube.
You
Taskmaster.
sent the link, right?
Oh,
I
it's on
sent it.
YouTube?
Yeah, it's all on YouTube. I sent you guys the link for all the episodes.
Nice.
Ay, qué rico. Seriously, on full episodes Taskmaster. Okay, I'll probably just end up watching that right now. I'm probably gonna self-medicate myself and then um um
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys for
how many
watching.
episodes is it?
It's
7?
only
Okay, yeah,
10.
cool. 7. It's 7 episodes. Oh, 10. Yeah, you're right.
10, and
Well,
they're like
before we
about an hour each.
yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going at it for 2 hours, and Isidro has things to do, and we need to get going. Let us know what your favorite series are, and let us know if I talk out of my ass or not. And then give us your opinion on what we talk about, or anything that we've talked about, or even do you even agree with what some of the stuff that we talk about? Because we really want to hear from you guys. We want to know who you guys are, so that we cater to you and talk to you guys about certain specific topics. Because I know that I can talk about anything and everything that you put in front of me, nicely or not nicely, as you could tell, and we want to know more about you guys.
And also let us know
So
about our tangents because we were supposed to be talking about TV shows and we went
yeah,
to talking
yeah,
about horror movies
yeah,
and how it all
yeah,
what it all on the symbolism in them and how DEI is breaking our movies. But yeah, let us know
yeah.
down below your favorite movies. Do you think DEI is ruining Hollywood? And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Bye bye.